there, folks, and welcome back to the Paintcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, but the main topic of conversation tonight is how gamers kind of tantrum, overreact whenever a game is delayed for whatever reason. Joining me, of course, is our co-host, Stu's Game Reviews. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things tonight, but that's our main topic of conversation is gamers overreacting when a game gets delayed, such as, GTA 6. A lot of people saying that they're going to boycott and not buy GTA 6 because it's been delayed twice. Really ridiculous in my opinion, because those exact same gamers on day one when that game releases are going to be there to pick it up. Anyway, welcome, Stu. Great to have you back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's about time you let me talk. I've been waiting forever.
No, I meant it's been a while since we did our last podcast. It's been like 4 weeks.
I've been waiting forever for the release date of me being able to speak, and it just took forever. I'm like, this is totally unacceptable.
Yeah, I know. I wonder whose fault that was. You and your job. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's too bad. I gotta eat.
Yeah, I know, right? You shouldn't be able to eat. I don't know why. Yeah. So how you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well too. Just it's been very busy with all the holidays and everything, and life and having kids sometimes could be excitement and stuff. But things are generally good. I cannot complain. What about you? Everything doing well?
Yeah. So far, so good.
So far, so good. For your life.
Yeah, basically. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, But yeah, no, things are pretty good. Gonna be streaming Starfield tomorrow for PS5, so that'll be fun.
That looks like a good game for what you showed me. It's like an open world game in space, basically, is what I understand. Correct?
Yeah, pretty much. When I played it on Xbox when it first came out, now granted, I played it when it first came out. God only knows what it looks like now or how it plays. It probably is 10 times better. But when I played it back then, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's generic, it's boring, blah 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 blah." But it over time, I think it's become highly popular. So I think they've fixed a lot of stuff on it or something. So, but I wouldn't know because I haven't played that version of it. But the version that I played, it literally, when you go to the first planet, it literally looks like Starfleet Academy. And so I got a really, really high Star Trek vibes off of it. And I really appreciated the attention to detail. I am one of those gamers who loves attention to detail in games. I'm different than most gamers because I will actually stop doing what I'm supposed to do in a game to look at little attention to details in games.
Well, there are people that do that. I don't know if it's necessarily me, but there was a big trend a bunch of years ago to start allowing photography in games, like screen captures and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that. I'm guilty of that so much. I take screen caps of so much stuff in games. I used to use them
because they have at one point it was a rare thing, but then everyone started asking for it, so they had to put all these tools in the games to let people do it.
Yes,
it's not necessarily my thing, but a lot of people like doing that.
And then several game companies actually take advantage of that as well, in the sense that, as an example, Insomniac Games, when they released Spider-Man 2, they had contests, and you would send in your best screenshot that you took, and you could win a prize. So it was actually pretty cool. A lot of
I remember at the time. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I wonder who won that, but
a lot of game companies do that. I can guarantee you that when GTA 6 comes out, they're going to have a contest for that too, guaranteed. Because that game looks stunning. But
unfortunately, GTA 6 is never going to come out. Those bastards! How long must they wait for GTA 6? This whole thing is crazy. He's developing it.
The topic of conversation. Yeah. No, but it's definitely coming out this year. It's been proven.
GTA 6 coming out this year?
Yeah. November 19th. Mm-hmm.
See, I don't I don't get the whole mentality, honestly, because if you're somebody who like every single day you wake up and you're like, oh my god, only like 203 days left till GT. I mean, like
Get
that
a
can't be what
life.
these people are doing, right? I mean, like I hope not.
I mean,
Like
some
they got other
people.
things to do with their lives. I hope, right?
Well, I would hope so, but some people are like that. Some people are like they have like calendars counting down the days and stuff like that. It's kind of pathetic.
I just
But
don't get it, honestly.
no, it's
There's so many games out there like GTA 6. I'm sure it'll be a good game. By the way, that reminds me of I saw a meme on TikTok, not a meme, like one of those stupid TikTok videos. And it wasn't through TikTok directly. I don't actually even have TikTok, but I watch sometimes TikTok compilations on YouTube. And basically, this guy was saying some. It was I can't remember. The guy was saying to another guy and saying like, to a guy was saying to a girl, "Would you?" No, the girl said to the guy, "Would you?" Um, like basically give me like would you give up GTA 5 in order to be with me or something like that? Would you first I think it was charged, would you give GTA 6 to be with me? And the guy was like, "What? No way." Okay, would you give up GTA 5 in order to be with me? And he's like, "No, you're not worth GTA 5 either." And then she's like, "How about GTA 4?" And then he's like, "Aha, like now I know you know what you're talking about. There was no GTA 4. It was GTA San Andreas." And then the guy's like, "Oh, look at shit. This girl doesn't even know anything about GTA." And I was like, "Wait, there was a GTA 4. What are you talking about? There was GTA San
yeah.
Andreas, but there was also
GTA
GTA 4."
GTA 4 was with Roman and Nico Bellic. A lot of
Right.
people didn't like 4 though, so that may have been like was it like a meme or something or what was
No,
it?
I think the person that did it just didn't know. Like maybe they didn't like it, so they forgot it existed. I'm not sure, but the whole
All
thing is just freaking weird.
they should have just renamed GTA 4 to Cousin, let's go bowling because that's literally 90% of the game was Roman calling you
Well, well, the
being like, "Yes, I want to sit titties. Let's go sit titties, please, cousin." I'm
well,
like,
the fact that they're using GTA as like a thing, like, would you give up this or whatever? Actually, that's another funny one that wasn't about GTA. It was like, would you like, would you like, it was like, would you give up? Would you be with me for like, if you like took away your PS5 or something like that,
yeah,
something stupid. And then the
yeah,
guy's like, I wouldn't even give up PS1 for you. That was really funny.
that's
PS1's flat out worth like hardly anything, but. Anyway, the point is GTA is like part of this popular culture. If these idiots on TikTok are talking about it,
mm.
but I still don't see like who cares like that much to be so stressed out about the release date. There's just so many freaking games out there.
I
Like play
mean,
something else.
okay, so when it got delayed, I wasn't necessarily one of those ones who raged over it. I was disappointed, but
Okay, you
not
can be
to the
disappointed.
point that I was like, ah, fuck Rockstar, ah, because that's stupid.
Well,
That's
if you're
idiotic.
like 98 years old, if you're like William Shatner's age, and like you really want to play GTA 6, and you're worried like God forbid you're not going to be around when it comes out, then I could understand you being very upset about it. Although you probably have bigger problems at that point. But if you're like a younger person and you like have an average life expectancy, like you'll get to play the game at some point, dude. Like, what are you so stressed about? I just don't get it. It's just not my mentality, so I don't get it. I guess. But like I said,
Yeah,
I get being like annoyed. On
yeah,
the
no,
other side,
no, like I get annoyed when stuff gets delayed. Like when RoboCop Rogue City got delayed for like an extra year and a half, I got annoyed by that when it originally happened. But I didn't exactly go, well, that's it. I'm boycotting the game, because
well,
that's idiotic.
Shigeru Miyamoto had a famous. I feel like we've talked about this before. I'm having deja vu, by the way. But Shigeru Miyamoto had a famous saying where he said, a a late game is eventually released, but a game released too quickly is bad forever, or something like that. So like, if they're taking extra time just because they want to have like tea and coffee, like and crumpets before they release it, then I could understand people being annoyed. But I'm assuming they're taking more time because they need the time to
Also,
either finish the game or polish the game.
that uh, that that quote doesn't make any sense anymore. Anyway, it doesn't add up because
If you can patch it, you're saying.
Remember when Cyberpunk came out, it was a hot buggy mess, and it took them a while, but they got it to like be exactly what they originally intended it to be, and now it's considered a masterpiece, and it's like top download on Steam, and even to this day, it's so popular, and so that
But
maybe back
they got
in.
sort of lucky though, because like it didn't have to be like that. Like it could have
Well, no,
been
but
like,
another game, a Crimson Desert, was the same way. Like, I mean, it came out and it was a hot buggy mess, and then they fixed it over time, and it went from like having mostly negative reviews to having 5-star reviews on Steam. So, I mean,
but how
that's
much
another one.
But how much like goodwill do they lose from that? Like that's I don't think there's any way to know that for sure. Like it's okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
now like 100,000 people played it and loved it. But maybe if it would have come out, it would have been really good when it came out. Maybe
Do you
three hundred
do you,
thousand people would have
do
played
you
it.
want to know the truth? Game companies don't give a shit about gamers. So even if the game comes out buggy, they're not fixing it for the gamers. They don't give a
Right.
shit. You know who they're fixing it for? The
The
investors.
shareholders. Yeah.
The
Right.
investors, the shareholders, the investors. They don't give a shit about the gamers. I mean, you know how many games come out buggy and they don't even fix them?
Right.
Yeah.
But like even if they're able to fix it after the fact, my point is like it might be too late because they may not be able to ever recoup like the lost sales that they got in the beginning when it came
C-
out shitty.
certain games for sure.
Yeah, I mean GTA 6 to your point, like I'm sure people will like wait around for it, but that's not the case with every game. And the bottom line is, like my point is, if they're delaying this game, I'm assuming they're delaying it for a good reason, not because they need a better release window, because they know this is like the hottest game of the year or next year or whatever they release
Well,
it.
they're also releasing it at the same time this year, this November. They're also releasing it at the same time as the brand new Call of Duty game. Not that I care because I don't really play many Call of Duty games, but I think the last Call of Duty game I played was World War II.
Well, I'm saying whenever they release it, because it's supposed to be November now, but for all we know, it gets delayed another couple months. We don't know. But whenever it releases, it's going to be like the
No,
biggest.
it's not going to get delayed
Possibly.
again because
Possibly.
Rockstar did announce that they've gone gold and started printing to disc. So if they delay it after pressing it to disc, that makes no sense.
If you've already pressed it to disc, then what? Why is it November?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. But regardless what it comes out, whenever it comes out, it's going to be the biggest game of the year in terms of like buzz and hype and people waiting for it. It's not like they're delaying the release window to have a more favorable release window to not go up against other AAA games or whatever else. They don't need to worry about that. But if they're delaying it, I can only assume the reason why they're delaying it is because they think it's going to be better if they delay it because they're working on polishing it or something like that. I mean, if they already press it, that makes no sense. I don't get that. But that would be my assumption is that they're trying to still make it better so that when it's released, people are like, holy crap, this is like the best GTA ever, as opposed to they release it and people are like, this is what I waited like
Well,
5 years for. This is shit.
I've already seen gameplay and it looks photorealistic. I mean, I haven't seen anything look this good on a console before. That's for sure. It looks like it looks really good. Now another thing that gamers are getting kind of annoyed about, and this is going to be on Xbox as well as PlayStation, is Sony and Xbox are releasing a feature that is uh, enhancing uh, game graphics with AI. And it's something you'll turn on. You can turn on in the settings menu. It'll be an update, and it'll you can turn it on in the settings menu. You can enhance the graphics of your games. And I feel like that's a huge fuck you to all the game developers who worked on a game because then what's that? You're basically
Yeah, I saw
using
this. There's
AI.
been tons of memes about it, right? Where it's like this is before and this is after, people making all sorts of jokes.
No,
What's it called?
some of those are real actually.
There's also a lot of jokes about it too, like where like it gets so much better it makes no sense at all. Like a different person completely, or I've seen like two different
So
YouTubers, or
the one that was shared by Sony, which I'll send into the Discord podcast section. Um,
This is like an NVIDIA thing? What is it?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay,
Nvidia. Nvidia is actually, believe it or not, the company that Sony goes with for their graphics cards on PS5.
cool.
Give me a sec here. But yeah, so I think it's a big fuck you to game developers. I have never been against AI, but I do think that that's kind of pushing it. Like, I mean, obviously when games come out, right? When games come out, the developers of the game already have an idea in mind as to how the graphics are going to look. So why should it be on Sony to then be like, well, we can improve it for them with AI? It's like, but they if they wanted that, they would have done it themselves.
True. But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, is it? I guess a better question is it necessary even? Because like the graphics are so good already. Like, why do you need that at this point? I don't know. It's just, but I guess some people, want the latest best thing no matter what. Just like
Yeah.
everyone was always obsessed in the past with like ray tracing or like whatever things they
Okay.
had back then.
So if you go into the podcast section of Stu's Game Reviews Discord, there is the one that Sony shared. That's Resident Evil Requiem on the left and the AI enhanced version on the right.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
But
but
like
it's
in real time, it does that. Like,
yeah, I guess my understanding.
I mean,
But it's still in the design phase. I don't think it's going to come out this year because what happens, what they said, the article that I read today said that so basically while it looks good, as soon as anything moves on the screen, then it fragments
that's what I was
and
saying.
then
In real
and then
time, it's much
starts
harder
to
to do it. Like,
and
when
then
it's still in
starts
it, it's easy.
to
Sorry.
lag. Yeah. So it fragments and starts to lag as soon as there's movement. And it's like, well, then what's the point? Why are you gonna make something AI enhanced, but then as soon as there's any movement in the game, does AI understand that games actually move? Like
And does it all go through their servers?
I don't know. I don't really know much of anything. I just know that right now in its current stage, it's stupid, and they need to do a lot more refining before they release it.
Because remember they had a thing like a bunch of years ago where it was like you don't need to get a fancy graphics card for your computer. Like get this service and like we'll render it for you like in the cloud
Yeah,
and we'll stream it to you like on the internet. Which sounds okay except for the fact that then you're subject to latency and stuff like that. Um, and you know, it's in this case like I don't know how it's going to work because even if they get it to work with motion, is it going to still work with like 50 million gamers all playing at the same time? And it's like, how much load is it going to be on NVIDIA's servers?
yeah.
It seems like
I don't really know all the
I think your
details,
power bill is
unfortunately.
going to go up like double because they have to like use all this electricity to power their AI farm or something. I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like it looks cool, but like I don't think this has been totally thought through.
no.
I
Uh,
feel like any application of this, the first thing will be you'd use will be for some porn game or something. It's like where all these things end up going to start with. That's it's crazy. Like I know we're off topic, but like porn has like I think always been like a huge driver of like innovation because people are like desperate for porn for some reason. So whatever. Anyway,
that's what like 90% of AI apps are on cell phones
that's what I'm
nowadays. Do
saying.
you notice
That's what
that?
I'm
Yeah, it's
saying.
always like your AI boyfriend. It's like
Right.
what?
Exactly. They'll do
Okay.
anything you want, no questions asked. I'm like a real
Who
person.
needs a real relationship with you when you can have a relationship with AI?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
fantastic. Sign me up. So stupid.
Oh
Um,
man.
uh, it is what it is.
But yeah, this is a big thing. This this enhancement through AI. Do you remember what it's called? There's some name for it. I can't remember.
SSID
Yeah,
or
something like
something?
that. Something like that.
SS I can't remember. Um,
It's a
yeah,
big
I can't.
deal. I think
Well,
in the screenshot you sent, the girl on the left, I'm sorry, the girl on the right definitely looks a lot more real than the girl on the left. It's amazing how much more real she looks, but
yeah.
it's an illusion to your point if you can't withstand movement.
Yeah. And Resident Evil Requiem already looks good. I personally don't think it needs any enhancements because I have Requiem. I've streamed it on this channel and honestly it looks beautiful. I mean, I don't understand why it needs to be molested with AI. Like
Well,
it,
the other thing is like this person, this is not like the main character, right? This is just a random bystander,
no,
correct? That's the main character.
that's Grace Ashcroft. She's you
Okay, I
play as
forgot what she
her.
looked like. I forgot what she looked like already. Okay, all right, fair enough. Because I was gonna say if it's not the main character, maybe the main character is more poly count or something like that. But I guess that's not the case here.
No, it's the main character. Resident Evil Requiem was interesting. So all the other Resident Evils up to 7 were third person. And then when 7 and 8 came out, they did first person. But then people complained with 8 that they wanted the option to play in third person. So they released an update, but you'd have to pay for it, and it allowed you to then play the game in third person. And so for Resident Evil 9 Requiem, they give you the option whether you want to play in first person or third person. And I'm thinking to
Oh, that's
myself,
actually perfect.
I'm thinking to myself, hold on, why didn't you think of that all along? Like,
Right.
are you people stupid? Like, I'm not trying to bash Capcom, but it makes absolutely zero sense to listen to fans for 8, not the 9 is the newest one, for 8, the previous one, Resident Evil Village. Listen to fans, and, oh, they want a third person mode. Well, I mean, they could have just added a patch that allowed in the settings menu to go into third person. But no, let's release it as a paid DLC.
That
What?
was a scam.
It's so stupid. And then for 9 they're like, well, maybe we should make it in both first and third person. Like, yeah, you think? I mean, you know how many games already did that? Like fucking Skyrim, Oblivion, fucking GTA 5, fucking Red Dead 2. So many games gave you the option whether to play in first or third person, and Capcom's sitting back and going, no, we should make it pay DLC. If you want to play in
I don't
third
I don't know.
person, huh?
It's like if they're like if the game is too dark and I need like a gamma setting, like oh yeah, we'll add a gamma setting for you, but like pay up $10. Like I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. That's why I like that fact that they finally realized maybe it should be included, and they put it into 9, the option to play in either third or first.
I mean,
But
it is a lot of work to make it work properly in both first and third person. So like from my perspective, it's like either do it or don't do it. Don't make you pay. That's like
well, and then on top of all of that, Requiem also has the ability to play it in VR, so it's kind of all
oh,
three.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool actually.
Um, yeah, and then I read somewhere too that CD Projekt Red is working on a VR version of Cyberpunk, and I'm like thinking to myself, damn. I mean, that if there was any VR world I'd want to escape into, it would probably be the world of Cyberpunk. I just I I was one of those kids who loved uh, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And the original Blade Runner. I'm not talking about the new garbage. The original Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, and it was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And so Cyberpunk to me just reminded me so much of Blade Runner. The world, the environment, a lot of it, and CD Projekt Red even admitted to it that a lot of the world was heavily influenced by the original Blade Runner movie, and you can kind of feel it when you go into that world. You kind of feel like you're in a Blade Runner esque world. So that was my main reason for falling in love with Cyberpunk. I didn't really the characters are hit or miss. I mean, Johnny Silverhand gets annoying 90% of the time because he's so negative, and it doesn't happen until later on in the game when he starts to become more tolerable. But throughout the beginning parts of the game, he's just a douchebag. And so it wasn't the characters that drew me into the game; it was the environment.
I think if I was like immersing myself in like some VR thing, it would probably be like a Star Trek world or something. I
So
think
like Bridge Crew, like what we used to do, the old
Bridge was
gang.
boring. I don't know. It was okay, but like something like that maybe.
I
I
need to
don't
show
know.
you this video. It's. I was streaming Star Trek Bridge Crew, not with you guys, but with somebody else. This was before I think we even did stuff, or before maybe even before I knew you guys or something. I don't even remember, but it was just random people I played with, and one of them was. It was so funny. The engineer, the guy playing the engineer, was actually from Scotland, so we called him Scotty. But the captain, because that game was able to body track you to an extent, the captain, the guy playing the captain, he had his cat jump in his lap as he was playing, and so we turned around and looked at him, and you just see him like stroking something on his lap, but nothing's there, and the avatar is animating that he's like petting a cat, and we're like, Captain, are you okay? Did you have too much to drink? And he's like laughing his ass off.
That's really funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I don't. Maybe not Star Trek. I don't know. It's hard to think of it that way because like there's always conflict in every any show or any movie. Like I wouldn't want to be in a place where there's conflict. I just want to like hang out, and like chill in a virtual world, like something like the holodeck in Star Trek maybe. But
I think the best place to hang out in VR, specifically Quest 2, Quest 3, that is non-violent and just relaxing, is Big Cinema. Have you ever used that app? It's
is that
free.
the thing where you watch the movies and whatever?
Yeah, you go into a movie theater. It's not just movies, they have TV shows in there too.
Yeah, I've never used it. I know you've used it, but I've never actually
I
tried
love
it.
it. I love it. It's so relaxing. And it's enjoyable. I the one night my power went off here. They were doing some construction on the power lines here, and I thought, Jesus Christ, it's going off so early. What am I gonna do? And I mean, it was already nighttime. It was already dark out, so I would have been sitting in the dark. And I thought to myself, gee, I wonder if the Quest 2 can work in pitch darkness. So
I really can.
it can. And so I tried it out, and I actually watched the full movie in my Quest 2, and by the time I was done the movie, the power had come back on. Um, I watched Terminator 2 3D, which is amazing.
So
Really,
you watch 3D in VR?
yeah. A lot of people don't realize that VR headsets act as 3D glasses.
So
Uh,
basically, you saw them like coming out of the screen, like in VR, basically. Like it was
Yeah, I
probably
took it
better in
here.
3D.
Hang on. Let me go over to the podcast thing for a second. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Give me a sec. Okay,
Okay.
because I took some screenshots. Now it's not gonna look exactly like how I see it, obviously, but you'll get the general gist of it. Big screen VR. Here you go. So there's the Transformers one. You can see the gun just popping right out of the screen. And then I got one for the Terminator 2D. You can see the shotgun kind of popping out of the screen there.
So is it actually better? Like, is it the best 3D you've ever seen? Because like, it can really be 3D like in the
Yeah,
VR
so it
space.
depends. So how the VR theater works is when you upload a movie. So what I do is I copy a bunch of movies onto like digital movies onto my VR headset's hard drive, like the Quest 2's hard drive, and then And then when I go into the theater, I host the theater for me and my friends, or I'll just host it for myself because you can get your own empty room, and
Mm-hmm.
then I can load up those video files and play them on the screen. And so I loaded up my Terminator 2 3D movie, and then they give you a whole bunch of settings. There's different styles of 3D, and you have to go through them until you find one that looks the best, and then you just do that. But honestly, the 3D is amazing. I've never had any problems with it. Everything just feels like it's popping right out of the screen at you, and you feel like you can actually grab it. Like this, I have one that's Silent Hill 3D, and when the ashes are falling, it actually feels like they're falling all over the theater, not just all over the screen, because they're so three dimensional that it looks like the ashes are just flying all over the entire theater.
That's
It's
really
really,
cool.
no, it's really awesome. I would highly recommend it. Now, if you don't have any 3D movies digitally, you can purchase them for rent in big screen. They have like things you can purchase for rent. And so basically what it does is you purchase it, they give you a virtual ticket. It's so freaking weird. They give you a virtual ticket, you go into the lobby of big screen VR and you hand it to a virtual a bot of a staff member at the theater. You hand them the virtual ticket, they rip it, and you go inside the theater and you watch the 3D movie. Now
That's
the other
amazing.
thing that was really cool is they have live panels as well. So this was they had changed. So there's a little you can see. Do you see at the bottom of the theater screen? There's like almost like a stage there. Do you see that?
Yeah, we do.
They actually took that exact theater for one event, and it said, "Oh, this is live. This is going to be free. Join if you want." It's a Q&A with Ernest Cline, the
Oh,
creator of Ready Player One and Ready Player Two. So I took these screenshots of when I was there at the event, so you can see these. So these they put the names above all the people who were there, and you could. That's my hand, by the way. I was raising my hand to ask a question.
well, you
Um,
must really have really good skin. I'm really impressed actually. No wrinkles or anything, no lines.
exactly.
I would say,
No
what's your like beauty
fingernails.
regimen?
No
Yeah, what's your beauty
nothing.
regimen? And Ernest Klein looks like he lost a little bit of weight. I think what is his name?
But
It
it
seems like
was
he would
really
have
cool.
to.
I gotta say, it was really cool, and I thought that was so unique. And finally, the final thing that you can do in Quest 2, which I think, or sorry, in big screen VR, which I think you will approve of, is you can play any of your PC games. Check that out, Police Quest 1 VGA on a giant movie theater screen.
Does it feel like I don't know, like I don't think I have to try it at some point. Like
You really do. You really do.
yeah, I should. I haven't like really used my Quest for a while. Like when I got it, like for a few months, it was like very cool and novelty and whatever. And
There's
then
uh there's bridge
Lower Decks.
or lower decks, but you see the quality too. Like it's very high def. It's beautiful quality.
I thought you don't watch any of the new Star Trek stuff.
Oh, I watch lower decks. I don't like any of the live action stuff.
Oh, okay. You only watch Lower Decks. Have you watched
Hmm.
what's it called? The one with Janeway in it?
Who? Janeway?
The one with Janeway, yeah. What's it? Prodigy.
Voyager?
Star Trek. No, Star Trek Prodigy. It's supposed to
Oh
be like a
no
new
no no,
season.
that's a kids show.
Yeah, it's not very good either. I'm surprised you knew it's a kid show without watching it, but yeah, it is basically a kid show.
Because I have they released a Star Trek Prodigy. I collect all Star Trek games, and so they released a Star Trek Prodigy game. It's a co-op game on PS5, and I have it, and I didn't mind it. But it again, it feels very childlike. So I don't know.
It's not a very good show. It's okay. It's not like horrendous, but it's not
There's
very
a
good.
there's a better view of the VR theater, so you can see people sitting in the seats. You can just have in everybody. You can have. I think it holds up to a max of 20 people. But
It's really too bad you can't like post you can't like post these things on the screen so that people can see them instead of just me seeing them. Yeah, I appreciate you trying to drive traffic to my Discord. That's great.
Yeah.
It's too bad you
No,
can't show up
well,
actually during the
I
stream.
mean, I could if we got the capture card working.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll figure out how to do that.
Yep.
I did spend a
Um,
couple sessions with you on it. It's all like I didn't do anything. We think we got to sit down and finish it.
well, I think we figured out what was wrong. It was just the audio wasn't going through properly, and you were like, "Oh, I know what it is, but I can't work on it anymore tonight."
Is
Was
that
the
what
last
happened?
thing you
I
said?
don't remember
That's the last
anymore.
thing you said to me. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to fix it.
Yeah.
I
Hello.
Oh, hey, Pirate Gamer Boy. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic night. I hope you had a wonderful Easter if you celebrated.
Are you doing okay, man? You sound a little tired.
Me?
No, Park, your voice is like just very like flat, like just like
Yeah, almost sounds like a woman, right? I know.
no, it's like a woman. It sounded like a very robotic. He was like hello. I hope he's you okay. You're all right, man. We're concerned about you now.
Yeah. He sounds like an AI. Oh no! Uh,
38 minutes and nobody else in the chat yet.
yeah, I
Lol.
know. Everybody's Eastered out. Well, that doesn't matter. We're still going to do the
Well,
podcast
I'm
because
doing okay enough.
fun fact about YouTube, even if you have no viewers when you're live, that doesn't mean that you're not going to do well. Because YouTube picks that shit up, delivers it around. I learned that very quickly. And even if I'm not getting any views live, after the fact, I always tend to do really well. So it depends. Um,
you
so
know, the true
this
story is Gamer's Grotto's crying in his bed at night, saying, "It's not true what I said. There's no viewers."
nah. No, I actually was surprised that Google is now advertising my channel. I was blown away by that. I remember I told you that the other day. I don't think you even responded to it, but
Don't think I saw something that you wrote, but I don't think I understood what you were saying.
so uh, I went to Google and I typed in that one horror game Birthday Boy, and I typed in uh, I just typed in Birthday Boy the game. I put Birthday Boy the game, and the very first thing to pop up on Google was my YouTube video, and I'm like,
Well, it's probably
what?
there's not a lot of content on it or something, and
No, there
it's
was there was other there was tons of other videos, but mine was
oh
number
really?
one. Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
And then I was like, well, what is it? Are they promoting my shit? And then I started to look up other stuff that I had done, and they've been actually promoting my videos on Google for a while, I
That
guess, and I
classic
just didn't
game.
realize that classic game. Though, oh, those devs kind of annoyed me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
speaking about classic games, when you're talking about fixing the capture card, it was making me remember what I was doing. So, Power Gear will find this interesting. I replaced the drive belt on a Commodore data set, like a cassette drive, which I took this thing apart and the belt was vibrating. I guess it was stretched out of shape a little bit, and it wasn't loading games while I was trying to load properly. And I got a new belt and put it on. It was a pain in the ass,
Oh
and
shit, Commodore.
it actually works now. I'm pretty happy about that. Um, and actually, well, there's like two games that I was trying to load. One of them was the next Monty Mole game. I wanted Monty Mole for Commodore 64. I streamed the one for
That is excellent.
C64 is a completely different game. And the other one is this game called the Chess Game, which didn't work even after I fixed the tape. I think the tape, like the cassette, is bad. But I got another one in the mail today, and I was going to test it out and see if it works. I didn't get a chance yet, but I really hope that does work. When I say the Chess Game, it's a game called the Chess Game. It's not a chess game though. It's an action game based on chess. So to me, that's like something interesting. It's like you're some person trying to run around a chessboard while chess pieces try to attack you or something like that. So anyway, I hope to stream both of those at some point in the near future, um, because a man cannot live by demos alone. I just want to get back to some of the stuff I've been doing for a while, and
Yeah, like Phantasmagoria.
well, not like Phantasmagoria, but
No, I
like
know.
Phantasmagoria is something else I want to get back to.
Uh huh.
But the reason why I say not like Phantasmagoria is because I want to be doing more older stuff. Like that's
Oh
every time
Mal.
you say anything about my channel, you always say like if you like Atari 2600. I haven't done any Atari 2600 in like a very long time. I need to get back to some of that stuff and not just be doing 90s stuff. So that is my intention to play more early games um, and whatnot. So anyway, that's just a little channel update, or at least a technical update or something. But what was he saying?
Phantasmagoria is 30 plus years old now. That's
Yeah.
not old enough.
When did
Yeah.
that
I was
game
about
come
to
out?
say. Huh?
When did that game come out?
1995.
Yeah, so that's the 90s. Yeah, it's right around the time of the demos and stuff. It's not I'm not opposed to doing it. I want to do it, but I want to get back to like my niche, which is the older stuff.
So Phantasmagoria 1 was 1995. Phantasmagoria 2 was 1996.
Yeah. So anyway, Pirate Gear, what do you think about all these people um, who like are so eagerly awaiting a game to be released that when it comes out, when it gets delayed, they like want to kill the developers and stuff like that. I mean, I think we both think they're crazy. We
Yeah.
don't really understand it, especially given the context of this conversation that there's so many older games to play. Like, I don't know who has like no games on their want list that they're waiting for some game so badly and then it goes so crazy when it's delayed. But that's just me, I guess.
And there's a lot of gamers who react like that. I've seen it more and more, especially on Facebook, where like, uh, gamers are like pulling a George Costanza. Oh, that's it. The game's delayed. I can't play it. I'm not buying it. That's it. You know, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
it's about that.
It's crazy, and I'm just like, dude, we know you're lying. We know you're lying. We
And you're
know
saying they're
damn
gonna put it
well.
anyway.
You can say there, you can sit there and say that to us and say, well, I'm not going to get this game now. Fuck the developers, blah de blah de blah, because it got delayed. And then as soon as that fucking game comes out, as soon as it comes out and it hits stores, you're going to be first in line to get it. So don't lie. Don't bullshit a bullshitter because we know damn well you're getting it. And
You're a
so
bullshitter.
it's just a saying, Stu. But it's like I don't know. I just find it so stupid. I'm just like, dude, just go drink some tea. I don't know. Just go calm down, calm your ass down. When it comes out, it comes out. You'll play it no matter what, unless you get run over by a car within the next day or so. I don't know. But
So let me
I
ask you a question. What do you think it's worth getting excited about, if anything, when it comes to video games? What do
when it
you get
comes to
excited about?
what
Video games. Like what gets you pissed off? What gets you excited?
what
I
gets
can
me
think of
pissed
something.
off? Nothing
Yeah,
really.
nothing at all. So you're totally
No.
like even tempered.
Yeah, like I mean, okay, so even when I'm like frustrated with a video game, this is the thing. So a lot of my friends that I game with online, they scream at their games and they hurl their controller and I'm just like
No, I don't mean that.
I look at them and I think to myself, are you okay?
I don't mean that. What do game companies do that makes you angry?
Crunch time, I guess, because that's disrespectful to
Stu
the
has streamed at
developers.
games too, mind you.
Right.
What?
Stu has streamed at games. Stu has also fallen asleep during live streams and talked about a barrel.
I talked about a barrel. What do you mean?
I don't know. It was like I don't even think Pirate Gamer Boy was around for this one. This was a few years back. You
I
you were
remembered when he
you
screamed at Egypt kids.
you were live streaming a game and you started to pass out. Your eyes started to close, and this video is probably still on your channel. And
Probably.
and then you just started mumbling nonsense, and we're all like, "Is he having a stroke? Like, what's going on?" And so we kept on spamming the chat and being like, Stu, are you okay? And then you woke up and you're like, oh, sorry, guys, I was falling asleep. Like, we're like, yeah, no shit.
It's not the first
Mumbling
time that happened.
nance.
I fell
Huh?
asleep when I was streaming like putt putt. Yeah,
He
Fatty Bear. That's
passed
what it
out for
was.
a bit when he was playing Fatty Bear.
Yeah, it's not the only time. I'm trying to like not stay up so late anymore, but I try to get a minimum number of hours of sleep a night. But yeah, I have done that in the past. And I've gotten angry at stuff too, but like I'm like
No, say it isn't so.
well, I mean, I get more annoyed like in terms of like what makes me angry about developers. There's I guess taking like strong political stances in games is annoying. But it doesn't even matter what it is necessarily. Like if it's a position I really agree with, maybe, but like
Yeah.
generally when they try to like to be virtue signaling or something like that or
Sorry,
whatever,
repeat that. Be what? Be what? I'm
virtue signaling. Sorry, I sort of swallowed it.
virtue signaling?
Never heard that expression?
No. What
Virtue
is that?
signaling is like if someone basically wants to show that they're on the right team, so
Oh,
that
okay.
it makes some kind of statement like on purpose, like just to be like, look, like I support the right causes, or I'm not, I'm
I
not with those
gotcha.
guys,
I gotcha.
whatever.
I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha.
Things that are forced and that are not that don't like serve the game, in my opinion. And it's like,
It's kind of like what happened with Hogwarts Legacy when it came out, where J.K. Rowling
yeah,
said some anti-trans bullshit out of her mouth, and she still does it to this day because she's
a
a
lot of people like
wonderful work of art.
boycotted the game because of that.
Yes, and the developers had to come out and say, no, 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 we are not her. Don't put that on us. And then what they ended up doing to spite her, and she got really angry about it, is they added trans characters into Hogwarts Legacy, the game. And that royally pissed her off because the land of Harry Potter doesn't have gays and trans, and so she was so angry about that.
Well, apparently it does now. I mean,
It
like,
does now.
I'm surprised like she doesn't have more creative control though, but I guess she gave it up. She,
So in terms of Hogwarts Legacy, she had very little creative control. They didn't, because originally they were going to give her creative control, and then she started saying nasty ass shit on her Twitter.
no, but
Um,
doesn't she own the property, or is it's owned by somebody else at this point?
no, it's owned by her, so they had to pay her for using. So what they did with Hogwarts Legacy, which was a really smart move, was they made it 100 years before the film. That way they couldn't have they didn't have any reason to add Harry Potter and all these characters into the game. So it's 100 years before the film. So they only paid for the use of the name. No, not even the use of the name Harry Potter. They paid for the use of the name Hogwarts and the castle. That's it. That's all they did. All the other
Oh, really?
characters, all the teachers, all the other characters and everything, they're non-existent in the universe because they were made up for the game.
But they
Because
didn't
it
pay to license the universe, just the name of the castle.
no to license the universe, yes, but I'm saying they didn't have to pay for like the Harry's name or anything that because none of that's in the game. The game takes place 100 years before the films and the books.
Hmm, that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
But like when they made like Star Wars like Knights of the Old Republic, I was reading not that long ago.
Hmm.
Like they had to get like approval from Lucas or whoever it was. I think
Of course.
LucasArts,
So
Lucasfilm.
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I want so okay. So George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were involved in Rebel Assault 1 and 2. Believe it or not. Um, they were heavily involved in those games. And then they came out with an idea to do a point and click FMV game with Indiana Jones. And it got scrapped because what ended up happening was it was uh, it was it was based off of Rebel Assault 2 success. If Rebel Assault 2 sold really well, they were going to do an Indiana Jones FMV game.
You mentioned this
Unfortunate,
before.
Unfortunately, Rebel Assault 2 didn't sell very well, which that kind of pisses me off because I loved Rebel Assault 2. It's one of my favorite
Well, it
games.
pisses me off because like those two things have nothing to do with each other, and just because that Emerald Assault 2 didn't do well doesn't mean Indiana Jones game wouldn't have done well. I don't see the relation there at all.
But Steven Spielberg came in really late.
Indiana Jones FMV game with a knockoff Harrison Ford.
No, not a knockoff Harrison Ford. So Daniel Abu, or what, I don't know how.
Absu,
Daniel,
Albu,
yeah, I can't.
Albu.
Albu, yeah, that's it. Albu, there we go. He is from Conversations with Curtis. Great YouTube channel, by the way. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. And
I
he
think go unsubscribe from me.
he interviewed one of the guys from LucasArts who was going to be involved, or no, sorry, was involved in the Indiana Jones FMV game, and Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were there in the studio. They were there for most of the process, and they said that, well, this is so all the screenshots he provided of on the set when they were filming the Indiana Jones FMV game, they had a stand-in, and then Daniel said, "Well, but is that the guy who was playing Indiana Jones?" And the LucasArts employee said, "No, no, no. We were actually getting Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford had signed on to do the game. That was just the initial design. That was when we were like getting camera placements and everything, getting everything done. We had a stand-in for Indiana Jones because Harrison Ford was not there yet. But Harrison Ford was going to be heavily involved in that game. And it was entirely financed. It was entirely financed by Steven Spielberg. Now, keep in mind, Steven Spielberg came in really late in game design because Steven Spielberg, for the longest time, as we all know, was a film director. And when he got into video games, it was in a dying phase. Video games were starting to sell not as well. FMV was starting to die. This was around the turning point when FMV was not as popular as it used to be. And then Steven Spielberg and George Lucas show up and they're like, well, let's revitalize the FMV industry. But they didn't end up doing it. They didn't. They ended up making
appreciated video games.
Steven Spielberg to this day still appreciates video games. He has said in interviews that he thinks that video games are just as important as movies. He has stated that.
You know what? Like this is now we're talking. Now I thought of something else that makes me angry. This is it. No, seriously. Like this is so stupid. Like these games that could have been and didn't and weren't. Like in this case, like it's okay. Rebel Assault 2 was not such a great game in my opinion, but like you're entitled to like it. That's fine. But the point is, if they would have gone out and said, "Hey guys, if you buy this, we'll make this Indiana Jones game," they would have sold way more copies. Because nobody gave a shit about that, but they would have liked the Indiana Jones game. So they had this like private thing behind the scenes. They didn't tell anybody what they were thinking. I think that thinking was really flawed. In my opinion. You gotta invite me back into the share play.
No, I that's what I did. I canceled it so that I could resend you the invite. Okay, so yeah, I disagree. So for me, Rebel Assault 2, I hated Rebel Assault 1 because Rebel Assault 1 was really weird because it didn't actually use FMV. All it did was take like scenes from the Star Wars movies and mash them with. It was not original content, is what I'm getting at. It was like just literally mashups. Whereas Rebel Assault 2 was entirely filmed specifically for the game. And I got to tell you something. I know you disagree with me, and that's fine. We're entitled to our opinions. But for me, Rebel Assault 2 was the only Star Wars game I ever played where I felt like I was in the goddamn movies. I felt like I was a part of the films. I felt like I was immersed in the universe. I don't know why, it just was. And ever since then, I've loved that game. I think the game's a masterpiece.
So you didn't like Rebel Assault 1 because it didn't look real enough, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, well, do you remember what Rebel Assault 1 was? It was like all the exterior...
Stu bought Rebel Assault 1 practically on launch, I recall.
So here's the thing. Rebel Assault 1, I did too. So I'll tell a backstory about how I got Rebel Assault 1 in a sec. But basically, Rebel Assault 1, what I recall of it was that, like, whenever...
The two games play very similar to each other.
No, no. I mean, gameplay has
the on-foot sections.
Gameplay is similar. The difference is that there's on-foot sections in Rebel Assault 2 where you land on planets, and there's a first-person shooter segment in Rebel Assault 2 as well, where you're going through a base and you're shooting at stormtroopers with like an actual first-person blaster rifle and stuff. It's a little bit different. Rebel Assault 2 is a little bit different, but and a little bit more advanced, better of a story, better acting, way better acting. As a matter of fact, all the actors in Rebel Assault 2 are still acting to this day. They're still
Well,
involved in the industry.
the issue is this: if they would have not called it Rebel Assault 2, if they would have called it Star Wars whatever, it would have probably sold
Sold well.
twice as many copies just
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
guaranteed. I don't deny that.
Because
But
people didn't like Rebel Assault when I bought it, and I thought it was cool, but the
yeah,
actual gameplay was pretty bad.
yeah.
And so, like, I bought Rebel Assault 2, but I waited until it was, like, on the bargain bin, and I had very low expectations for it. And, you know, it was alright, but, like, it didn't sell well, not because of anything to do with FMV. It didn't sell well because people don't like it, didn't like the first one. Like, that's one thing I feel like people don't realize, like, in
I gotta
movies
be
in general.
honest. I gotta be honest. As somebody who has played both, the first one had terrible controls. The second one has amazing controls.
Okay, that might be the case, but, like, nobody found that out because they didn't buy it.
No, I
And
know.
I don't think
The second one
people
is way
realize
You
better.
saw Darth Vader on your multimedia PC. That was the selling point.
Yeah, I agree. That was a selling point. But like, people they don't realize this with movies either. It's like they can make like let's say there's like a series of 3 movies, and like we made this third movie in the series, and nobody went to see it. I guess it wasn't good or whatever. No, they didn't see it because the second movie was bad, not because the third movie was bad. It's the second movie was bad. Like I guess people read like reviews now. It's more more there's internet and people have more access to information. But like if they didn't like the last one, they're not going to go see the next one in most cases. And that's what I think. But they still spend tons of like. But the second one, so like the first movie was great. So because that everyone went to see the second one, and it made a ton of money at the box office, even though it was crap. And they're like, oh wow, that was really good. Let's make a third one. And the third one tanks. And it's like, oh, I guess it's no. The second one was the problem, and like they don't. I don't know. I just feel like people don't get this in some.
Are you talking about Star Wars?
I'm talking about in general.
Oh, okay.
Any media franchise, whether it's a movie or anything else, like the performance of like the sequel is very dependent on the performance of the previous one. So the first one has to be good, otherwise it's not going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
So if it's a sequel, it means the first one was good. But if the sequel is bad, like tons of people might still go to see it because they were looking forward to it because of the first one, and they didn't realize it was bad until after they saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, the people like that make the movies look at that, and they're like, "Oh my god! This blew out the box office compared to it's even what."
Yeah, because they don't care. They don't care about. It's not about who likes it and who doesn't. It's about how much money they can pump out of it. They don't give a shit about anything else.
But they don't. They do give a shit to some extent because then they make the third movie.
Very little.
They make the third movie in the same vein as the second movie, and they're like, okay, we're gonna make so much money off this one, like you can't even imagine. And then they're like, what happened? Where everybody what happened? Where did they all go? And I'll give you an example of this, okay? Star Trek First Contact. That was a pretty good movie. Did you see that movie? Did you like that movie?
It was okay. I like Troy being drunk at the bar.
Well, I don't think it was the greatest movie ever, but I think it was a pretty good movie with the Borg, and Jonathan Frakes directed it, did a pretty good job. I thought it was a good movie. Then they made Star Trek Insurrection, which
I've never seen it.
Okay, well I'll describe it to you, which is basically if it was half as long, it would have made a pretty decent episode. But it was too long, and there was no high stakes. The villain was a complete joke, like terribly written character. It was a famous actor, like F. Murray Abraham, but like very, very poorly written. There was a Starfleet admiral who was terribly written and like whatever. Anyway, but it could have been a decent episode, but it was not. And then that movie was okay. That movie did pretty decent at the box office, as far as I remember, because people all went to see it because they liked the previous one. Then they put out Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh no, sorry, that's the one I didn't see. I saw Insurrection. Never mind. I saw. It was Nemesis.
Well,
that's the one.
This is not really a good analogy now that I think about it, because Star Trek Nemesis. If Star Trek Nemesis was a good movie, it would be a good analogy. But Star Trek Nemesis was actually even more horrendous than Insurrection. But I don't think people didn't go to see it because it was terrible. I think they didn't go to see it because the previous one was bad. Like if they have to look at like what people, they can't just look at what people spend. They have to look at if people liked it or not to know if it's worth making another one. So
Yeah.
if they don't care about that, then they're dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't even know how we got to this discussion anymore,
It
but
doesn't matter. It doesn't. This is a podcast. Talk about whatever, man.
I somehow got into
Remember?
some rant about something. It's like Picard says, like I seem to be like giving a speech, and then like Troy's like, "You're entitled. You're the captain." He's like, "I'm not entitled to go rambling on about something that everybody knows." Something like that. That's what I feel like right now. I wore myself out.
But yeah, so going back to Rebel Assault 2. So I was saying earlier I was going to tell you the story of how I
Rebel
got it.
Assault.
So
That's
Rebel
right.
Assault
Rebel Assault too.
Rebel Assault 2, I ended up my dad was visiting California or something like that. And I guess back then games weren't region locked because he bought me that game in the
PC
US.
games were never region locked.
Okay, yeah, so that he bought me that game and he bought me that and Day of the Tentacle. Both. He because he came back from California and he had that for me, and he also bought me, and I still have it on audio tape somewhere. He bought me the entire Star Wars radio drama on audio tape,
That's
and the
fun.
big box set of it. And yeah, and um, so he would back in the day he would go into like these game stores like Radio Shack or whatever. And it's funny because like the Radio Shack
Yeah, holy shit,
that
imagine if PC games were region locked. Well, now that'd be terrible.
Yeah, it would be
the
terrible.
the 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 Radio Shack near us, which now doesn't exist. It hasn't existed in many years.
Well, no, there's no Radio
But
Shack that exists. They're out of business, right?
yeah, exactly. But anyway, the woman who ran it, he knew on a personal level. He was friends with her, and later on in life, I ended up working for Radio Shack. Actually, I got pulled in off the street. I'll talk about that later. But
Literally
um,
pulled it off the street. Like you're walking by, they're like,
yeah,
"Hey,
no,
get in here!"
literally pulled in off the street and said, "Hey, Jeremy, if you do you want to work for us for the day? We'll pay you."
And you're
And
like,
I'm
"How
like,
do you know my name?"
"Great Scott!" No, yeah, no, they knew me, because I would shop there regularly for PC games, so they knew
So
me
funny.
quite well. So, but there must be a time paradox. How do they know my name? No, but uh, yeah. So, what was I saying? So,
Radio
oh
Shack.
yeah. So my dad would always go in when I was younger, uh, for like birthdays or Christmas or whatever. He would go in and he would say to the people working there, what's the latest game that everybody's buying or whatever? What's the latest Sierra game? It was always usually what's the latest Sierra game because he loved that company. I think he still does. Um, and so they would not only show him, but they would take the game out of the box, install it on a computer for him, and have him try it out. And so that's how he would make the decisions on what games to get me. He would actually play it himself. And if he
That's
thought it was
cool.
cool, he was like, "Well, my son's going to love this because I think it's cool."
Yes, they let him do that.
Oh, close friends, man. They treated him with the utmost respect.
Nice.
And me too, by the way. But yeah, as for them grabbing me off the street to help them, I helped them for the day. They had a massive stock. I had to go out into the back and bring in everything, unbox it, put it on the shelves. They didn't have enough employees that day. And then I
What's the
can't
latest
remember.
Sierra game?
I can't
Oh,
remember how.
Outpost, it's selling like hotcakes. You should buy it.
Outpost.
No,
Yeah, I
definitely
didn't
not
play
one of
that
them.
thing.
Definitely not Outpost, but
Looks horrible though.
yeah. But so yeah, that day I remember that day I worked for them, and then they gave me a check, or they gave me money. No, they gave me cash at the end of the day, and I handed it right back to them, and I said, "No, I'm gonna buy some games." So I ended up buying Leisure Suit Larry, Shape Up or no, wait, not Shape Up or
Yeah,
Slip. What's the
that's number
one?
6.
No, it's not that one. It's the next one. It's Leisure Suit Larry
Love
7,
for sale.
Love for Sale. I ended up buying that.
You should
Um,
have told them, like, if you were smarter, you would have been like, how much is this, like, get store credit instead of, you know what I mean? Like, like, usually, like, you get, like, it's cheaper if like,
well, they
trade
didn't know, but
something.
I mean, they didn't know I was gonna. I didn't even think I was gonna buy anything with that money. But then I saw that there. I'm like, oh, I want to get it.
But they
But
sold you at full retail price, is what I'm saying. Or they give you a discount.
no, they sold it to me at full retail price. But
That's
whatever,
annoying. The
whatever.
heck, where's your employee discount?
Employee discount. I was pulled off of this. I wasn't even an employee.
Yeah, you weren't even getting benefits, exactly. Why don't you get an employee discount or something, man?
Okay. All right. Well, let me just grab my time machine and we'll hop back in time and we'll.
I think you need to reevaluate the story about how they liked you so much or whatever. You're like, oh yeah, we'll sell it at full price.
Okay, Stu.
Sorry to interrupt your story.
No, you're good. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's the end of the story. It's not. It didn't go anywhere from there. But I mean, that was it. Like my dad would always get to test out games before buying them. I think one of his favorite games, and it's not even a Sierra game, is Alley Cat. And I'm sure you remember
Yeah.
Alley Cat.
I don't. That's one of the few games that I do not have for the PC.
I
Very,
not
very
only
rare.
have it, I have the fan made remake, both the original and the fan made remake, and
Alley Cat, a
I've
classic.
s- I've streamed both on my channel in the past.
What
Surprisingly,
platform do you have the original for, though?
For the Atari 800 and IBM PC JR.
I have the PC Junior one.
Are you serious?
Yes.
RIP Bill Williams.
You have to take a picture and show it to me. I don't believe you unless you take a picture. Picture proof.
Well, I'm not taking a picture right now, dude. I'm painting.
Not now. You can do it afterwards, but like I want to see it because it's super super rare, and the only person I know that owns a copy of it is Jim Leonard.
No, I don't
Um,
have a physical copy of it.
oh, okay. I think you
No,
have a
no, no, no,
physical
no,
copy.
no. No, back in the day I did. Back in the day when I was a kid, yes, I did. Of course I did.
All right, that
But
I believe
but
you. But yeah,
I
nowadays
don't
it's super
know
rare.
what the hell happened to those discs. That was a long time ago. The version that I have right now is digital.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the few games I don't have in my physical collection, which I would
One of
like
those
to have.
pirated DOS conversions.
But I didn't play it back in the day
No,
either. So.
no, no, no. The original version I had was not a pirated version. It was the actual disc. Um back in the day. But I don't know what happened to all those discs. I got to be honest with you. I think after I moved out of my parents' house, they threw out a lot of my stuff, and they probably threw out a lot of the old games because I never took all that stuff with me. Because when I moved out of my parents' house, it was to go to college, and I didn't bring any of those games with me because I was in college. I'm not going to sit there and play old video games. So a lot of that stuff while I was gone, they kind of just threw out a lot of stuff that they figured I didn't want anymore.
Ripped
So
Marvel's collection.
a lot of the stuff I risk I risk. What am I saying? I miss because uh dude, like I had the old Sierra game boxes and I was keeping them, and they threw them out. They took them to the dump, and I was like, oh well, there goes all my there goes all my PC game boxes.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah,
What
it
can you do?
happens. I don't hold a grudge over them for that. That's a long time ago. I mean, there's often times where I'll go on like Amazon and see like, the
They didn't
box.
even take them to Value Village or Savers.
No, they threw them in the trash. Um uh and
My
I don't want you
sanity.
guys to get the wrong idea here. My parents are awesome. And they didn't. I mean, I don't think they realized the worth of everything.
Of course not.
Uh, I mean, I probably didn't even back then. So to them, a box is just extra shit lying around that was unnecessary when you already have the game. So yeah, no, I don't hold them accountable for any of that. It's like, dude, it was a different time then. We didn't know that everything was going to be worth shit. I probably would have tossed them eventually myself. Um, but I do regret it only because like nowadays you go on like Amazon and stuff like that and you see that like just the box of fucking Sierra games goes for like fucking 400 $500 and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that sucks."
Yeah, they're
Mine are in a
expensive.
compost somewhere.
You also can get like a lot of good deals though. Not everything is so expensive. Um, just depends. Like you have, if you like want something right away, then it's going to be expensive. If it has
Yeah.
to be this thing, if you like,
Outpost in the big box is worth thousands.
no, it's not. Apple's in the big box were like $20 maybe. Um, if if you want something specific right away, then you got to pay a premium for it. That's how life is. But if you actually just like sort of look for something for a while, you can get it for pretty cheap. Depending, I mean, like not always, but often you can, or definitely like a reasonable price. So not everything is as expensive as people make it out to be. I've seen Sierra games that go for very reasonable prices as well. You know,
Yeah.
depends what you're looking for, obviously. But I see them all the time go for reasonable prices, not hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars, maybe if it's like the first edition King's Quest or something like that. You know, with the keyboard overlay, I saw like that for like $800 the other day. Expensive, but that keyboard overlay is like super hard to find, so I get it. But a regular, release is not that much, really. In my opinion.
I remember Dean Erickson a couple of years ago. He was the actor who played Gabriel Knight in Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within.
Yeah.
About
He
5 years ago while thrifting I got one of my best ever finds, tons of big box PC games and I paid $10 for all of them.
Nice.
5 years
Let's
ago
go
through.
thrifting.
Hmm. But yeah, so Dean Erickson, I think I still have him on my Facebook. I don't know, but anyway, he's
Then
not.
a few months later I went back to the same store and they had even more. I bought all those for $5 circ.
You see, I bought a few old games back in the day as well. There was like a swap shop near me, and I went in there the one day and they had all the Tex Murphy games and in the box and everything on the shelf, and I'm like, oh. So I bought them all because I back then I didn't know what the hell Tex Murphy was.
Nice.
I didn't, and so I bought them all, and I still have them digitally, thank you GOG, but I don't have them
Actually,
on disc anymore.
that was really funny because I used to thank you God, and then I realized to thank you dog. It's actually pretty funny.
Thank you God for these nice games.
Thank you
No.
God, I mean God.
Uh,
um, no, that's pretty funny.
I have
Um,
Under a
I,
Killing Moon but I've yet to play it.
back in the day, like let's say around the year 2000, I used to walk around Manhattan and like every single store was like selling PC games.
oh yeah.
Like they were just getting rid of them. Like it was like they were very cheap and game stores, not game stores, like camera stores were selling PC games. I remember there was like a bunch of PC games I bought that I don't know where these came from originally, but it was like it was like somebody took I don't I can't describe it, but like they have this mesh netting and someone sealed like a PC game box inside of mesh netting along with like a little stuffed animal, and like they're selling it as a bundle. And there was like 15 different stores that had the same thing. Like they must have all got it from the same source, and it was pretty cheap. And some of these games, like I don't think any of them were amazing games, but they were all like brand new stuff and whatever. And I remember buying a bunch of things. I also remember going to a store in downtown Manhattan, and they had a bunch of PC games for a
Monkey
dollar
Island
each.
one with a free stuffed animal.
That's funny. It wasn't Monkey Island. It was more obscure stuff, but they had a bunch of games for a dollar each, and I bought like I remember not
Twinson's
Twin Sons
Odyssey.
Odyssey, the
Yeah.
first one, Relentless, Twin Sons Adventure.
Did
Um,
you know that they got PS5 remakes? I'm like, what the fuck?
no, I didn't know that,
Yeah, they're on
but I
PS5.
one of the games I bought was called The Martian Chronicles, which was based on the Ray Bradbury book, The Martian Chronicles. I never knew there was an adventure game based on that. It was a dollar. And I remember I brought it back, and then like I posted about it on like I think the news groups at the time because there was no Facebook. And somebody responded and said, "You need to play that game. I'll never forget this. You need to play that game so you can set your adventure game quality meter to 0."
What?
Like basically, like that's the like he was basically saying that's the worst game ever made. You won't know what a 0 game truly is until you play that one. So you need to play that to.
Do you have Fahrenheit 451, the Tellurium adventure game?
Which I thought was very funny. I've still not played it. I do have Fahrenheit 451, the Tellurium adventure game. It's an interesting game. I don't think I ever played it actually. I played Amazon, the one that's by Michael Crichton. I haven't played most of the Tellurium ones. I need to do that at some point. But yeah, I do have all of them, I think. Anyway.
Continue with what you were saying.
I think I was done with what I was saying. I don't remember, but
no, you weren't.
I was just saying that like
they did a Perry Mason one too.
Yeah, the Perry Mason one. It used to be that you could get like stuff for very, very cheap. They were just clearing them all out. It's not like that anymore, but there's still people that have like stuff, and there's people that sell their collections for whatever reason, and there's stuff available. It's just a matter of you have to be patient. I was looking for some game. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say the best is when you go on like Amazon or something and you can tell that the person selling the games doesn't understand their worth. Like my favorite was when I found my copy of Africa for PS3 and the person selling it was clearly a parent because they didn't know how much it was worth. Because I'm looking at all the other fucking uploads of Africa on Amazon, and they're going for like $200-$300, and this person's selling it to me for $20, and I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, cool, sold, and you could tell that it was a parent. And they're like, it's about $20. That's how much it's worth. I mean, it's a PC game. It's a PS3 game. It's probably new. PS3's new, right? Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, sure. Yes, PS3s are brand new, ma'am, brand new. Just came out.
That's funny. No, Parking Away asked, do I seek out estate sales? No, because I've never had any good luck ever at anything like that. I've gone to Goodwill many times, never found anything decent there. Not in the last 20 years. I don't know. I've never found anything good at a estate sale or anything like that either, or even at a flea market. I just don't have good luck with that stuff. So yeah, not really. I did go to an auction once that was in Jersey. This guy was selling out his whole collection, and there was probably let's put it this way. The auction started at let's say 6 p.m. or something, and it went until 3 in the morning. That's how much stuff they had to auction off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
holy
maybe
shit.
Before 6 p.m. I'm not even sure. It was a very.
It was all PC games?
Heritage Auctions, lol.
No, it was not Heritage Auctions. It was a lot of different stuff. It was like this guy collected hardware, software. I don't remember if there were console games as well. I think there were, but it was like he had Apple stuff, Atari stuff, PC stuff, Commodore 64 stuff, and tons of games. And it took forever to go through all the lots because there were just so many of them. I remember I got stuck with something because I bid something and the guy thought I was bidding more than I really was, and then I was like, what? And he's like, sold, and I was like, what? That wasn't what I was. And basically it was you either pay it or you would get thrown out and probably beaten. So I ended up paying it even though it was more than I
okay.
I didn't want it.
Who's running this auction? The mafia? What do you mean pay?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but
Jesus,
I would not be surprised at all.
Hey, you bought that? Go pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm not fucking around here.
Break your arm, whatever.
Break your legs.
Well, at minimum, they would have thrown me out, and I wouldn't have been able to buy anything else. So I just sucked it up and paid for it. But I got some good stuff there. It was but I it's one of those things you don't have enough money. If I had more, I spent a decent amount of money. I don't remember how much it was, but it was a lot for me at the time. And then like I think like I got my tax refund like the next week or something like that, and I was like, damn, if I would have gotten this like sooner, I probably would have bought more stuff, and it would have been worth it because there was one guy there who he was an eBay seller, and he basically bought half of the stuff himself. And then at the end, he had like, I'm not even joking, like 10 guys carry it all out to like multiple trucks and drive it away, all the stuff that he bought. And everything that this guy bought went on eBay afterwards for like 3 times the price. And that was
Yeah.
like the starting bid. So like, and I'm sure he didn't sell everything, but I'm sure he sold enough to make his money back. And like, that sucks, unfortunately. There's people that do that. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, no, there's when I worked at Walmart, there's a guy I worked with who, like, as soon as a new console came out, he would buy 5 of them from Walmart, keep one for himself, and put the rest on Amazon and jack up the price to like over $1,000.
yeah, that's horrible. But that's what
Hmm.
people do, unfortunately.
Yeah, scalpers.
Yeah, I don't like those people. That's not my the type of people. But
No,
yeah,
I mean, do you remember when the PS5 came out? How hard it was to get one initially?
I remember when the Wii came out. I used to go to GameStop every single day because I worked at this place and there was a GameStop a block away. Every day at lunchtime, I went to GameStop and said, "You guys have any Wii's in stock?" And they every day they said no. And this went on for like a year.
Hmm.
And it got to the point where I was asking them and I didn't like I wasn't even like if I want to buy it anymore because it was like $250, which was a lot of money to me at the time for sure, and it's still a lot of money, but like at the time it was even more than it is now.
Hmm.
And I didn't expect them to say anything but no. And then there was like one day I went in there and the guy's like, "Actually, we just got one in. Do you
Hmm.
want it?" And I was like I was like, I'm like, and then this guy behind me is like, "If he doesn't want it, I'll take it." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I want it." That was how I got my Wii. There was a big shortage of them. They were
Yeah, no,
so in
I
demand,
I do remember. Um,
and the DSs were the same
And
thing.
you were like, WII bowling, here I come.
Yeah, I said
Wii
WII
bowling,
bowling.
Wii
No, I
bowling.
mean, listen, I thought Wii bowling was pretty cool. I did definitely play a lot of Wii bowling and Wii sports in general. I mean, like, it was a packing game. But after that, I went to that GameStop and was buying pre-owned everything. Like, not I wouldn't buy something when it just came out. Where it was like Super Mario Galaxy and it was like $59.99, and then the pre-owned price is like $55. Like, that's no, I don't. That's not good. But like, I wait till it came down in price a little bit. It's like $30 and or $20, and then I buy it,
So
and I was very happy with the
interesting
games.
story about my PS5 when I first got it. So when I got my PS5, they
I
were still
remember
being
shockingly the value of Wii Sports at least a few years ago went up a bit.
my initial PS5, which is not the one that I have right now. So when I bought it, I didn't even buy it. Sorry. Let me explain this story. This story is crazy. Um, so an ex who basically treated me like shit. He was an ex for a reason. They fucking uh suddenly messaged me out of the blue one day and said, "Well, I settled fixed my life, whatever. I want to pay you back somehow." And I jokingly said, "Yeah, yeah, buy me a PS5." I didn't expect anything. I was like, I just said that, so I was like, a big PS5s were so hard to find then because they were being scalped like crazy, like constantly. Like you couldn't get them in stores. They'd be in stores for like 1 second, and then somebody would either buy one or they wouldn't even be in stores at all because they were being scalped. And so, uh, they got me the PS5. They found somebody on Craigslist who was selling it, and it was in mint shape, still in the box. And at first, I thought, well, this is obviously a scalper that they bought it from. So the guy came over, and because he was he was paid extra to deliver it to my place. So the guy came over to my place when I was living in London, in the city before I moved here, and yeah, they dropped it off, and I was talking to them about it because I was like, well, this because at first the story made no sense to me. I'm like, how do you have like, and he was selling it so cheap too. It wasn't like like overpricing like all the scalpers were. So I'm like, well, what is? And then he gave me the box. The box was still sealed, factory sealed, and he gave me the receipt. And he said, and I looked at the receipt, and it was just bought the exact day that he dropped it off to me. What? I said, yeah. And so I said, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? Where did you? And then he said, well, I'll tell you the story actually, because it really pisses me off. This is what the guy said to me. And he said, I bought myself a PS5. I finally found a PS5. So I bought one, and I bought the second one for my best friend. And so when he went to give the PS5 to his best friend said, I don't want that. I want an Xbox Series X.
Okay.
And so he's like, well, what the fuck? I don't know why he didn't return it, but instead he decided to sell it. He put it on Craigslist, and I guess we were the first ones to bite. And so so he gave it to me, and I have this. He gave me the receipt and everything, and to prove that it wasn't, stolen or whatever. Not that I thought it was, but I guess just as proof. And then I'll never forget me and my roommate were like, well, I want it tested out to make sure it works, and he's like, dude, it's factory sealed. It's gonna work. And I'm like, well, just stick around anyway, and we'll see if it works. And so he ended up sticking around, and we got it working and everything. And then he saw my game collection in my room, because I have like the PS1, PS2, the NES, SNES, and everything. And he's like, "Oh my God, you are a serious gamer. I'm actually kind of jealous." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, at least he knows that the PS5 went to a good home.
Oh yeah.
How much absolutely?
I didn't pay for it. It was my ex who paid for it, so I don't remember. But they added on my ex added on an extra $100 if he delivered it to my place.
Today on the podcast, we will learn Stu's favorite color and Grotto's favorite animal.
Well,
today on the podcast, we will learn Stu's favorite color, pink, and Grotto's favorite animal. What's my favorite animal? A dog.
I thought you were just. I thought we were gonna mess with them up and doing like your favorite color and my favorite animal.
I mean, I could.
My favorite color is actually blue. It's not pink. I think it's a fine color.
I actually know that, because in case you haven't realized, folks, every time Stu is usually in one of my thumbnails, he's wearing a blue shirt, because I know that Stu has a favorite color.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I do like pink as worn by Bret the Hitman Hart of wrestling fame, who is from Calgary, I believe. Great.
How are you guys? How was Esther?
How was Esther?
How do they pronounce Easter as Esther?
I don't know. How was Esther? She was okay. She underperformed a little bit in bed, but she's all right.
Well, I was going to say that my sister's name is Esther, but I think I won't say that
anymore. I didn't really do anything for Easter. So I'll tell you what happened. I had trouble sleeping the previous night, and then when I finally did lie down, I had a headache anyway. So I lied down to try and get rid of the headache. And I knew that I was supposed to go to my parents for Easter, and I thought, well, I'll get up in time. I'm not worried. I set an alarm.
I saw this woman lounging on a Galaxy.
Lounging on a Galaxy?
What?
Okay. I don't know.
Was it like the ad for
on a Galaxy? You sound like Tommy Chong. What's going on right now? Hey, man, the other day there's this woman lying on a Galaxy, man. It's amazing, dude. She was in the Atari Nebula. Oh.
That Italian woman or whatever.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
All right. I was confused. I was. Dude, what do you mean? Was I there for that part? I was in the voice chat with you.
Well, I don't know if you were there for that part, or I don't remember if you
I was. I was laughing my ass off at Always Asleep's comment.
It was like some Italian lady, yeah. What was
yeah.
Teresa something.
Teresa, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, thank you for reminding me. I wanted to bring something up quickly. So when you guys looked at I wasn't there for this part, but when you guys looked at the in the First Degree demo, and Stu went and looked at the actors and said, there's nobody there I recognize. I felt like strangling him because like two of the actors in the First Degree are actually big name actors. So the one who plays Inspector Looper in that game, Maureen McVeary, she was in a lot of shit, dude. Back in the 90s, she was in Full House. She was in like all these different shows, and on top of all that, she was the voice actress for Rosella in King's Quest VII. And the guy who voices the news
anchor was the voice of
No,
Rosella?
I didn't say the news anchor. I said Inspector Looper, who isn't even seen in that video demo. She's the one interviewing. So there's a lot you really need to play that game because there was a lot you were confused about. So that guy that's clicking on the computers, that's not you. That's not who you play as. That's you don't play as anybody.
It said in the game that the trailer. It said you're the DA.
You're the DA, but it's through your own eyes. You don't actually ever see yourself. That guy who's clicking on the computers is just a gamer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so yeah, it's a stupid. The demo video is so fucking dumb. I hated it. I hated it back then when I saw it because it made no sense.
Okay, did you ever see these games?
Well, hold on, Stu, hold on. Let me finish what I was going to say first, and then yeah, sorry about that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Shut up. But anyway, so going on, so like I'm watching the trailer for this, and I'm like, that trailer is the worst trailer I've ever seen because it doesn't show any gameplay. It shows you clicking, and I'm like, but there's more to the game than that. There's like entire parts where you're like walking to a person's house to interview them. There's like all this stuff going on. No, it doesn't show anything. And barely covered the courtroom part or nothing. I was just like, dude, that is like the worst game trailer I've ever seen. The worst. But anyway, so the game is so fucking good. It's so good. And Inspector Looper, played by Maureen McVeary, she's in that game demo that you saw. So there's like scenes where like there's a woman interviewing people behind like a glass, one of those interview rooms, and you were commenting on it, Stu. And she was saying like, oh, where were you when Tobin was attacked and stuff like that. And there was like Tobin was in the room. One of them, Tobin was being interviewed, and he's wearing like a shirt covered in blood. And you commented you made a joke saying, well, he's obviously the killer because he's covered in blood. If you actually play the game, he's covered in blood because he was shot.
But that's not why I said that. So this is related to what I was going to say before. So in the trailer, it said something like,
someone's dead, someone's lying. Can you prove murder one? Yeah, I know. I know the trailer.
Well, actually, I've seen that on the box, but that's not what it said in the trailer, I think. It was more like, he's guilty, now you have to prove it. Like, and that's what it implied. Like, it's like, this guy is guilty, we're telling you off the bat, and
to a degree. So how the game starts out is how the game starts out is smartass. How the game starts out is like Inspector Looper, who you're kind of working with. She's pretty much in like 99 to 100% certain that Tobin is guilty of murder, but she needs you to prove it. Yes. Because you can't just go before a jury and be like, oh, he's guilty. Well, how do you know he's guilty? Because we said so, damn it. Because that doesn't work.
The Sherlock Holmes consulting detective, where it's like, oh, Holmes, you were so close. You almost
I hated that game.
It could be like that one.
You know that they did. You know that those games. You know that those games got a 4K remake.
No.
Yeah, I have them. They're on fucking Steam. So an indie developer literally got access. I don't even know how he did it. He got access to those games. I think he paid for the license. I remember reading about this. He paid for the license for all those games from. I think they were done by ICOM. I think that was the other
Yeah, Richard's
original
icon.
developer. Yeah. And so he somehow got the license to those games. And he redid all of the videos for that game and made an entirely new interface for those games. And he redid them in 4K. And I have them. I've streamed them on my channel. And goddamn, do they ever look beautiful in 4K. But they also look hokey as hell in 4K.
How did they do it in 4K? They had the original film
I don't know.
because they did make those. There's a DVD, I think, of Sherlock Holmes and also of Dracula Unleashed. There's
I
definitely a Dracula
have
movie.
on my computer, which I found ages upon ages upon ages ago. I can't upload it to Discord because of Discord's video limit, but I have the original stock footage of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective when they originally filmed it.
So I guess they must have the raw footage. They must be in like on film and not on 35
So
millimeter.
I have the blooper reels for those games as well on my
Seriously?
computer.
Where'd you
Yeah.
get it from?
I found it a long time ago on a forum site. Somebody was the original game developer for those games, and he just leaked gave this forum like all of this shit. It was like the blooper reels. It was even the scenes where like the developer, the makeup artists were coming in and putting makeup on the actors, and then the actors were like rehearsing their lines, and then the director would be like, "Okay, and action," and it was all of that. I have all of that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I've
but
like
I
fucking 12
cannot
gigabytes
imagine.
worth of that shit.
You
Huh?
cannot imagine you got a blooper reel. It's like Mrs. Whatever couldn't even open a jar of English toffee. But
Okay,
Holmes,
so the act, all the
have you considered the fact she might have just been pretending she couldn't open it just to fool you?
all
Oh, shut up, you stupid jackass! Like that's my concept of the blooper reel.
all
It's
the
just like
actors all the actors in that game were not, none of them were British. They were all American.
uh,
Yeah.
English
Peter
toffee,
Warren
my
Green
favorite.
Warren Green and Peter Farley, who were Holmes and Watson. So Peter Farley was Sherlock Holmes, and Warren Green was Dr. Watson. They were both They're both American actors. So Peter Farley was a Shakespearean actor, Broadway, and he he was so over the top, but he also seemed really grumpy in between takes. I don't know, but he was like over the top because he's like the he at one point in those scenes he's like, I know how I'm gonna play Holmes. I'll be like, elementary there, Watson, and then the director goes, no, you're not doing that. You're not playing the role like that. He's like, why not? It would bring a new look of Holmes. I was like, I don't know. They're just always like waste. It just felt like a lot of those behind the scenes, they were just like wasting time of the director or something. Maybe they didn't want to be there. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like I don't know. It just gave me this weird vibe of them just not really wanting to be there. They just seemed bored. They would do their lines, and then there was a few times where the actor playing Watson would screw up his lines, and they'd have to redo them. And you could see Peter Farley just like rolling his eyes and like, fucking hell, learn your fucking lines. Like, like, so it's, I don't know. They just, yeah. But those games were interesting, I will say. Not my favorite FMV games ever, but they were unique, I suppose.
I mean,
Um,
you played what was that game called? Oh shoot, there was like a game called Point
I
of
do
View.
I do recommend those two, that you check out the 4K remakes, because I think you might enjoy them, and they're not terribly expensive. I think I paid like $12 for the entire collection.
So okay, I was thinking. I forget what I was thinking about just now. Do you ever play the game of DA Pursuit of Justice?
No, but I've heard of it.
There's like three different cases, and it's 8 CDs total. Like two of the cases are on like wait 7 CDs total. I think no, and one of the cases are on 2 CDs, and the other two cases are on 3 CDs each, and it's all FMV. And it's
Mhm.
made by a company called Legacy Interactive or something like that.
I've heard of Legacy Interactive.
And this one is Broderbund. the first degree, but the trailer of that one reminded me a lot of the other. Makes me wonder if it's the same like developer or something like that. But there are a lot of these games like that. There was also the Virtual Murder series. There was like the Virtual Murder series. There was 4 games, like the Case of the something Surfer. Does it sound like familiar to you at all? Or and then they made
No.
also like they made 2 games that after that they were published by Activision. They were also like FMV murder mystery games. Um,
Okay.
I'm losing the names of it off the top of my head right now, but it was all the same person. Shannon
Yet,
Gilligan, I think was her name. It was
okay.
a
Yeah,
weird
no,
one.
the only FMV games I ever played that weren't Sierra ones back in the past were like Body in the Bay and all
Tender
those
Loving
ones.
Care is one FMV game I've meant to
Tender
try
Loving
for a
Care is what I was
while.
just thinking of. So
Tender
like
Lo- Tender Loving Care I actually own. Yeah, I
Point
have
of
that one.
View is this the game they made after Tender Loving Care. Tender Loving Care was the one with William Hurt or whatever.
Yeah,
I I think I either played that one or I played Point of View. I don't remember which one. They're both very strange, I think. But that those ones are by
they
like
are.
those ones are like by Rob Landeros, the guy who made Seventh Guest, I think.
Hmm.
And I mean Seventh Guest is like they made Seventh Guest with all those video, in 11th Hour, all the full motion video that they had, and then they went to that stuff, and that's pretty like odd too, because the story of the Seventh Guest was not particularly good. Maybe I'm mistaken, but that's what I recall. There's a lot of FMV games out there that I think are like mostly unknown. Um, I bought a
I
couple of games in French, FMV games, and they're like detective games in FMV in French. I was trying to see if like I maybe translate them or something. I didn't get very far because there's like no subtitles in the game, which sucks. So there's like nothing to translate
I
really.
never liked the original Seventh Guest. I
Oh, you
felt
didn't
that
really?
I felt that the acting was so fucking bad. And there wasn't enough story content to keep me enthralled. Like it was just very boring.
Badlands is a more
The
obscure
I
one I
think the
guess
thing that
influenced
really
by the
got on
legends
my
developed
nerves,
Nami.
I think the
It's
thing that
FMV. It's a cartoon.
I think
Sorry.
the thing that really got on my nerves with Seventh Guest is the music is so blah, and then on top of the music being blah, the acting was blah, and I'm like, so what the hell is, what's the grip to keep me interested in this game? The fact that
Well,
it's shoving puzzles in my face every 5 minutes, then there's like ghost actors that come up and can barely fucking act. Like that's why I really want to get the remake because, like I said or before, the remake, the VR remake that they did is now coming out for non VR for PS5, and it's coming out like later this year. And I want to get it because honestly, I
Seventh
watched.
Guest, it was a game to play on your brand new CD-ROM
so
computer.
so that's what I was going to say about Seventh Guest. It's not exactly the case. I remember very clearly. I mean, I say I remember very clearly, and I'm thinking also the episode of The Simpsons where Homer's like, "I have a photographic memory," and then he sees like his memory, and it's like completely wrong. But
Yeah.
like, I remember very clearly that when Seventh Guest was advertised, they said it was the first game that came on more than one CD-ROM. It had 2 CD-ROMs, and it was the first
Oh.
one. So before they had a bunch of other stuff. So I remember my dad bought it, and he was like, "This must be really good. It's 2 CD-ROMs." And we played the game, and it was not that good, first of all. But I remember like we got to a certain point, and then it was like insert CD number 2, and then we're like, man, that was all CD number 1. Like there's like another like this is like really halfway through the game. This is not bad. And we put in CD number 2, and like it was basically like one last puzzle
The
or something.
second disc barely has anything on it, yerk.
Exactly. And we were like so pissed off because we felt like completely like robbed. It was like I mean, it wasn't false advertising; it was true. But like we assumed that it's going to be like balanced on the discs, and it was not. The last, like
Hmm.
it had like one puzzle maybe, and then it was like the final video was stealth, and then all of a sudden, and the end of the game is really bad. It's like the worst part about the game probably. It makes no sense at all. It just sort of ends, and then you're like,
Can
and
I
then
ask?
imagine like, I'm sorry, imagine like you thought that the game was only halfway over, and like that makes it even worse. And we were just like sort of staring at it, like, what the fuck, and we were really pissed. Sorry, what were you to say?
Well, I wasn't there when you streamed the remake in the past. So in the remake, is it better than the original, or is it just the same fucking
You
game?
mean the VR one?
Yeah.
It's so much better. It's so much better. It's so much better.
Did they have an actual good ending?
The ending, the whole story made much more sense.
But weren't you blown away by the pre-rendered 3D graphics streaming from the disc?
It's not even like a remaster or something like that.
It's a remake.
It's a completely new game, except with the same general storyline as the first game, but done. It's part of the problem with the first game is the story made no sense at all. They just showed random weird clips that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me.
Order and stuff. This game, it was new actors, much better actors, like redone. It was, I'm telling you, like it was so good that like they actually redeemed the original game.
You just made me really excited to buy it now. Okay.
You have to play it. You have to play it.
Okay.
And not only all that, but like it looked so freaking cool. There's no I'll just tell you, there's no like any jump scares or anything like that. I was like scared out of my mind the whole freaking time because the immersion and the ambiance I thought were really, really good. There's like you don't just start out like inside the house like in the original game. You start off like outside, like the menu screen is like outside the house, but then like when the game starts, you're like in a boathouse, and you have to take a boat to the island where the house is on, and that's like sort of partially the tutorial, but and then you have to get into the house. So it's completely different, but like they build like the ambiance and the setting in such a nice way. In my opinion, I just kept on like getting more and more excited by it. The only thing is, like, I kept getting scared because I couldn't see the chat when I was playing the game. I was like, I really felt all alone, and I kept thinking there's gonna be this scary thing that's gonna scare the shit out of me. But that didn't happen. So, like, really good game though. You definitely should get it.
Well, the version I'm gonna get is the non VR one though, because the VR
one.
No, I can't, because the VR version only came for Quest 3. I only have a Quest 2, and also it's on PSVR 2, but I only have a PSVR 1. So
it's too bad because you should watch a little bit of, maybe play it first, but then watch some of the VR like that I stream, because I can't imagine like almost a better VR experience than that. It was really well. I mean, it was a little bit annoying because like I'm not actually walking around the room and I'm like, I'm using the controls or whatever. It's not perfect, but I had to actually really stand up a bunch of times on my chair because the object I was trying to interact with was up there, and there's no way to like maneuver yourself to fly. So I had to like stand up and like try to stretch my arm to reach it. It was pretty immersive actually. Definitely would recommend it if you're able to play it. But yeah,
but there's a lot of immersive games like that already on the Quest. I feel like you don't play enough VR games on your Quest. Is that a fair assumption?
That is a fair thing to say. I mean, earlier when I first got it, I did play some stuff, but like, I'm not saying it's the best thing ever done, but that's not the only VR game I played, and I thought it was really well done for an adventure game in VR.
So my
most of these games are not adventure games.
My favorite two games for the VR Quest 2, because I don't have a Quest 3.
I've never played anything in VR yet.
Are Assassin's Creed VR. That game is so bloody immersive, and Sam & Max VR. Sam & Max VR is so good, and it's made by the guys who made the newer Sam & Max games, and it's hilarious because like Sam & Max they like so the whole story of the Sam & Max VR is they put out posters to have like they're trying to get a new recruit to help them on cases, and so they put out posters. You end up applying, and they end up hiring you, and so it's just Sam. You go into the office and Sam's there, and Max is out doing something or something like that. It's all in first person, and Sam just asks you the stupidest questions imaginable, and then you answer them on paper or whatever. And then he's like, well, it looks like you're hired and whatever. And then Max comes in, he goes, oh, is this the guy we hired as target practice? I'm like, oh my God. It's the craziest game ever. And the entire time, because it's VR, Max is always like in your face. He'll like literally just hop up right into your face and start poking at your eyes and stuff. It's just really well done. I don't know. That game was just so well done. And you're doing it's 3 different cases with Sam and Max, and they tag along with you, and it's very much an adventure game.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's based
I
off
like
of
that.
it's based off of the Telltale series, not the
I bought
LucasArts.
it for Windows VR, which I don't even know what that means. I don't
Okay.
know what it's compatible with, honestly. It probably works on the Quest, but it's like has to go through your PC or
It
something.
should. It should.
Yeah, my PC is, but I think it's one of the ones that like actually is driven by the PC, and my PC I'm not sure is good enough to do it
Hmm.
properly. But regardless,
Well,
I will play
it
that
is on
sometime.
Quest, so just and it's really cheap. It's always on sale, so you can get it for about $20. Um, but yeah, no, really good game. But and then
By the way,
Assassin's
the other game really quickly, 13th Doll, which is the
Push
Seventh
your
Guest
ThinkPad to the
companion
limit.
game. That's not as good as Seventh Guest VR, but it's way better than Seventh Guest or the 11th Hour. It's like it's night
what is
and
it
day
called?
from the 13th Doll.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. There's 3 games in the series. The 11th Hour, the yeah.
but that's a fan game. It wasn't like an official thing.
No, I know. The
Um,
13th is the fan one. Yeah,
right, and
yeah,
they
I
actually
know.
have Stauff in it though. Like they got the actor who played Stauff to come back and
The
play Stauff.
11th hour. That rape by the house line is insane.
That game is messed up. But yeah, that whole game is. I mean, it's just a bad game. 11th Hour. Forget about all that stuff. It's a bad game. 13th Doll is not a great game, but it's like I said, it's way better than the other ones. So like, you should try that at some point too. If you find it.
So, what is the backstory of the Seventh Guest? Then have you've played the remake in VR? So what? Because I never understood the original story of the Seventh Guest because it was all over the goddamn place. What was the
It's
story?
the story is like there's this guy Stauff who
Yeah.
they say at the beginning of the original game like he was a drifter,
Well, they said he
moving
was a
from
toy
town to
maker.
town. Well, first he was a drifter, and then like he became poor, and then like he robbed some lady and killed her, and you know something like that. So he's a bad guy, and then essentially like he made a deal with the devil to get a lot of money and become a toy maker, and he made these dolls that were really amazingly high quality dolls. It's like a Stauff doll is a doll for life, they would say. But
And
then,
some of the
right,
children
exactly.
started dying.
Then some of the
Yeah.
children started dying.
Yeah, I
You know,
remember.
they
I
just say
remember.
it.
No, you don't have to repeat the. I remember the opening video, but
No, but
I
that's basically the story. And like, so like the the children's souls were getting sucked into the dolls. The whole thing was just a plot by the devil or something to like suck children's souls into the dolls. The children's bodies would die, but their souls would be captured by the devil. And then at some point there was going to be something to like, I don't know.
so
The VR version explains a little better.
Stauff was just the devil's pawn.
Basically, yeah. So
I
like
gotcha.
in the original game, he has his
Okay. Apparently, Stu's internet just went out. I don't know what just happened there. Uh, okay. Well, hopefully he'll be back in a
It's too
sec.
loud.
Right in the middle of discussing it, right? Well,
Hang on, lol.
what happened, man? Did your internet disconnect? Well, anyway, while we wait on Stu, I'm gonna bring up yeah. So tomorrow I will be streaming.
His ThinkPad blue screened.
Is ThinkPad blue screened? There you go. Goddamn ThinkPads. Should be called stink pads. All right. Anyway, so tomorrow I'm going to be streaming Starfield on the PS5. The game has always been kind of an Xbox exclusive, but we're finally getting it on the PS5 tomorrow with a bunch of new updates exclusive to the PS5. Better visuals, better loading times, and of course, we're going to have force haptic feedback and everything in the game as well. Anyway, so
So
that I'll be streaming that tomorrow, and then one sec, and then in May we're gonna be checking out the brand new James Bond game. Really excited for that one. I've seen a lot of gameplay now of it, and it's just getting me more and more hyped. Looks really good. Sorry about that.
no, so what just happened, by the way, is like the share play ended, and I didn't say right away, put me back in the share play. Can you put me back in the share play now, actually? I was like, well, I was talking. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's fine. And then, like, all of a sudden, my PS4 decided, like, to go into, like, rest mode because then I wasn't doing anything. Even though I was talking, I guess that doesn't
Oh,
count.
you need to turn off all these features that shouldn't even be on.
I didn't know they were on. That's the first time that ever happened. It's when I start it back up, it's like, the PS4 went into power save mode. I don't want to even do that.
This is how you know that Stu never uses this console.
Well, even if I was using the console, it wouldn't be like this. Oh, yeah.
I never have the power save mode on. It's just a waste of time.
I clicked on Full Throttle Remastered just now by accident.
There you go. That's a good game, by the way. Full Throttle Remastered. I've streamed on this channel in the past. Really good game. I beat it all in one sitting.
I had to
Took me
erase
like
the
an hour.
audio from the demo that I played because the Gone Jackals copyright disputed the audio.
Which they don't even exist anymore, so I don't even understand that.
Well, whoever owns their music disputed it, and I tried to fight it, and they basically.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You want to? Let's talk about fucking disputes and bullshit. Fucking the other day when I was streaming the Birthday Boy game, Stu knows about this. You guys don't. So the other day when I was streaming that game, I'm sitting there praising them into the ground, praising PlayStation Interactive, saying, oh, they make really good games and everything. And then, for whatever reason, when I was having trouble getting past that clown part, after the stream ended, I went on their YouTube channel to look up how to get past that clown, and because they were doing a walkthrough of it. And then, so I left a comment in the comment section saying, oh, dude, I've been really enjoying this game so far. I've actually streamed it on my channel. Well, there was my first mistake. I told them that I streamed it on my channel. So immediately they went over to my channel, they left a comment, and then they fucking copyright striked me. They contacted YouTube and said, oh, we are the actual owners of this game, blah, 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 or whatever. And so I got an email from YouTube that said, oh, that the analytics and everything else for this video are going to PlayStation Interactive. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Are you fucking serious? First of all, I don't even have enough subscribers that it's even going to matter to them, so I don't know why they did it. But then I noticed that video also is one of the big picker-ups that's being distributed through Google. So, like, that video is getting a ton of views and everything through Google. And I'm like, well, that's great. My first big video that hits it big, and it's fucking going all to PlayStation Interactive, the fucking assholes. And so I got really annoyed about that. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And I know why they did it, and it's my fault. And it's not because I said come over to my channel, look at the video I made. But if you look at my thumbnail for that video, I made the clown look identical to the clown in their game. Identical. Everything was exact. And that's copyright because they came up with the design of that clown. So instead of them being like, well, we want you to take down that thumbnail because that's our character, instead of them doing that, they just decided, since we technically own that clown, we're going to take the revenue from that video. So I can't fault them for that because I don't want to create a whole new thumbnail for that. The thumbnail, yeah, it's the thumbnail. It's the thumbnail because I put the fucking actual clown from the game in the thumbnail. It's okay. So when I make my thumbnails, I want them to be accurate to the game that I'm playing. I don't want to just make some generic character and be like, well, like as an example, when I'm playing Monkey Island, I want Guybrush Threepwood in my thumbnails. I don't want generic pirate number 2 in my thumbnails. Because then people are gonna. Because the whole point of a thumbnail is that's how you garner your views. Nobody's gonna click on a video where it's like, yeah, I'm playing Monkey Island. Well, who's this on the thumbnail? That's Bob the Pirate. Like, come on. So I always want my thumbnails to represent the game I'm playing. And 99.9% of the time it works. Because the fun fact about YouTube copyrights is that they won't go after you over a thumbnail, especially if it's a thumbnail for a game that you're playing. What they go after you for, Bob, yeah, what they go after you for is if you're trying to sell shit using that thumbnail. So like if Stu's streaming Phantasmagoria or something, and then he's like, well, this thumbnail that I made for Phantasmagoria and AI or whatever is for sale if anybody wants it afterwards, that's where you're going to get your copyright strike. But if you're just making a thumbnail to stream a game and the thumbnail is tied into the game, they don't give a shit about that. They really don't. And so the only time that somebody's going to go after you for that is if it's the developer of the game. And the developer of the game, 99.9% of the time, don't give a shit. They got better things to worry about. So they won't go after you.
The thumbnail, why don't you just like change the thumbnail and then see if it resolves the issue? Because I never heard of the thumbnail being the issue. That's really interesting.
Well, I think what happened was I don't think that it was flagged by YouTube. I think what happened was when I told PlayStation Interactive to go look at my video, or what, I didn't actually even say that. I said I streamed it on my channel. They clearly clicked on my video. And you know how I know that is because they left a comment in the video after the fact. When I streamed it, I went back the next day and it said I got a comment on my video. And I was like, oh shit. And so I looked at.
We're copyright claiming you, jackass. Like what?
No. They were telling me how to get past the clown quicker and stuff like that. They were giving me hints. But I mean,
you should consider like responding to that comment and saying something like, or reaching out to them and saying like they must have a number like not a number, like a way to contact them. And be like, guys, like I streamed this thing. You left a comment. You liked the video. Why did you like put a copyright claim on it?
It's not a copyright strike. It was just a copyright claim. I didn't get a strike against it.
Why would they do that? That's not cool.
No, I know. But at the same time, I honestly don't care. Because I have the funniest feeling that they would fire back, well, your thumbnail kind of uses a copyrighted character of ours, which is fact. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't even think I'm going to stream a part 2 to that game, to be honest, because that running away from that clown is next to impossible. Do you realize that they made that game themselves, and on their own fucking YouTube channel, they died 17 times? In their own game that they made.
Well, I've seen lots of videos like the demos just like die immediately.
So I'm like, well, if you can't even get past your own fucking game, how the fuck do you expect me to get past? So, I don't know if I'm going to do a part 2 to that, honestly. I do like the game. I don't want you guys thinking that I hate the game.
I think you should do a part 2, just basically say, like, don't stream it, just say that they're assholes for you copyright strike. That's what I would consider doing.
I'm not going to oust them. That's childish. Why would I do that?
That's childish. That's not childish. That's called crime and punishment.
Okay.
It's called truth and consequences. Like that's not being childish.
No, I just kind of ousted them already in the in the podcast. So I mean, but anyway,
I would try first what I said seriously. Like I bet you like whoever like did that is not. I bet you if the people that actually like are in charge there found out about the copyright claim, they would not be like happy about it.
Stu. PlayStation Interactive is 2 guys.
Okay.
Who are YouTubers. It's not a giant company. It's literally 2 guys from like I don't even know where they're from. I think they're from like Venezuela or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just
jerks, then.
What?
Maybe they're just jerks then.
No, it's they're not even a big name company. They sell their games for $2 for these
Why
big.
are they giving you copyright claims then?
Maybe they need the money. I don't know, but
And how much money are they getting from that?
they're getting nothing.
Well, there you go. So
Yeah,
I'm more
I
of a William R. Fisher fan myself.
a William R. Fisher. Who's William R. Fisher?
he's the guy that made his last half of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. There's supposed to be a remake of Last Half of the Darkness coming out soon.
Creator of the Last Half of Darkness series.
The
It's
game
like William
was
R. Fisher Studios.
that game was an interesting game.
There's
I
more
put
than
it
one game. There's like 10 of them or something.
I put it up there with Dare to Dream.
Oh, really? It's that bad?
In my opinion, it was mediocre.
I
Yeah.
never played it. I mean, it's funny. Dare to
What do you
Dream.
mean you
at least
never played it? You never played?
I streamed the beginning of it in one of my streams. I never actually played into it. It's funny. Dare to Dream at least had an excuse for being bad because they're like, oh, it's just some crazy dream that you had. It's obviously it makes no sense, but it still wasn't very good.
Another question I have is when I joined your stream late and hopped onto
I
the
wanna
mic.
know, Stu, how the hell did you get that physical big box copy of the first 3 games? I never even knew that existed before you.
I've often thought that if I would actually make a video, like a tour of my collection or something like that, I would get a lot more traffic because I think that would be a very interesting video. But unfortunately, I'm too disorganized to do it properly
We
at
know.
this point in time. But I have a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I've been collecting for a very long time, and particularly when it comes to adventure games. That's always been the bread and butter of my collection.
How often do those games fall off your shelf?
Never.
You've never had those games fall. They look very every
They're
time I
usually
see them in the background, they
they're not on
look.
a shelf. There's in a stack. They've never fallen. However, there was one time that they almost started to fall, and then I went. There was an avalanche, and I went there and I fixed it. But that's not a shelf.
He has an avalanche waiting to happen in the background.
He really does. He really does. Wait until you get an earthquake. You're going to be flattened by 500 Atari games.
Well, thankfully, there's not many earthquakes in here, but there are sometimes in this area.
What happened to Stu? He was killed when 500 Atari games landed on his head.
There were these two eccentric guys called the Collier brothers. I think they lived in Manhattan, and they were this is 20 years ago. They were old elderly people who collected lots of stuff.
Okay.
They also collected old newspapers, and basically they had two brothers who lived together.
You couldn't tell me they were killed by an Atari game?
No, they weren't married. There were two brothers who lived together.
They weren't married. Of course they wouldn't be married. They're two brothers.
No, but they were 80 years old. They weren't 10 years old. My point. They were two brothers who lived together their whole lives.
Oh, I see
or
what
something
you mean.
like that. And they had apparently their whole apartment was filled with just stuff and there was passageways in between things, but they were also
What?
afraid that people would steal their stuff, so they had booby traps set up. If you went,
Is this a movie? What is going?
It's this real story.
God.
They had booby traps set up. You walk the wrong way or try to take the wrong book off the whatever, it would fall. You try to tripwire and everything would whatever. And so what happened was one of the brothers fell into his own booby trap, and he goes buried under a mound of
Is Stu gonna booby trap his collection?
every single thing
He
he
should
ever owned.
make a video
and then,
of it.
apparently it took a while to find this guy and dig him out because the brother didn't realize he was gone right away or something like that.
Oh, for Pete's sakes!
Yeah, I'm looking at my Wikipedia right now. It's the Collier brothers. Yeah, I'm looking at it. They lived in Harlem. They obsessively collected books, furniture, musical instruments, and myriad other items with booby traps set up in corridors and doorways to crush intruders. It was more than 20 years
Nobody
ago.
will steal your copy of Thunder in Paradise.
Both died in their home in March 1947 and were found. One of them was found on March 21st, and the other was found on April 8th, surrounded by more than 140 tons 140 tons of collected items that they had amassed over several decades.
They're not collectors. They're pack rats. Come on.
Okay, they're hoarders, but still, like, they
Well,
were
now,
booby traps for someone to steal their garbage. They both attended Columbia University. One of them was a lawyer, and one
I
studied
think
one
I've
was
seen
an
a
engineer.
documentary about this actually. I think I remember this now. I remember seeing a documentary about this a long time
They were
ago.
61 when they died in 1947. So it's
But
like they buy a house.
I thought you said that they had a ton of video games. That's what I was
No, I never said
confused
video
about.
games. I said books. I said
Hmm.
books. Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't have video games in 1947. But
I was about to say.
the point is, like, they had much worse situation than me. So I have had my mom say to me in the past, like, you want to be like the Collier brothers or like whatever. So that's how I heard about this stuff. But yeah, police they removed 120 tons of stuff from their house, including baby carriages, a doll carriage, rusted bicycles, old food,
technically they did
Okay,
blow up.
that's not.
There was that one tic-tac-toe game.
glass chandeliers, bowling,
Yeah.
camera equipment,
Okay.
human organs pickled in jars, 8 live cats. Like there's like I'm not. This is a very short version of the list. There's
Yeah, but
like
hold on. But that's not. See, that's. This is the thing that kind of irritates
25,000 books.
me. You said they were collectors. That's not a collector. At
All right,
that
they're
point,
crazy people, but like
Th-
they thought they were
they're
collectors.
hoarders. They're just
Agreed.
hoarders.
Agreed.
That's not a collector. That's kind of insulting to an actual collector, because
Oh wait, OXO is from 1952. Never mind.
I have no words for that. Those people are crazy. I mean, I've never really met a hoarder. I don't think I ever want to meet a hoarder, but I mean, I do think that those people have mental issues. I mean, I will admit I have a lot of video games. Do I have as many as Stu? No. But I do have a ton. I do have
A lot of
boxes and
DVDs.
boxes and boxes full of PC, PS1, PS2, PS3. I got tons of games. But
Imagine Stu on hoarders.
no, Stu doesn't have enough to warrant being a hoarder.
I mean,
Stu's a collector, but that's what I'm trying to say. There's a difference between a collector and a hoarder.
that's what I would say too. But yeah,
Saying that those guys were collectors is absolutely wrong. That's not a collector. That's
Yeah, I'm not serious at all.
Phew.
Thank God for Stu. All right. But oh, is there any games that you're interested about coming out that you've had your eye on, Stu? You always ask me this. I never really ask you this. Is there anything that catches your eye in the world of Atari?
Um,
Maybe some.
not like off the top of my head. I mean, there is always stuff, but like I'm trying to think. I mean, first of all, I read like Retro Gamer magazine. I read Old School Gamer magazine, but I also
Hmm.
read PC Gamer and I read Nintendo Force. And I read Game Informer now that it's back around. So I read a lot of.
Wait, Game Informer's back?
Yeah, they're back, and it's, you know what's annoying? Like they didn't
I
contact any of the
thought
people that were subscribed to it before and say, "Hey, we're back. Like, do you want to restart your
didn't they
subscription?" I
shut
didn't.
down their site?
They shut down everything, but the people that it was owned by GameStop. But whoever
Oh.
the original people that were working on it before they got shut down, like basically bought it back from GameStop and they restarted it. I want to say it started again like in January of last year. I didn't hear about it until let's say August or September, and that's when I resubscribed to it.
Hmm.
But it's still a good oh yeah, it's still a good magazine. So I read about the new stuff that's coming out. There's always some stuff that doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah.
Um, like anything that's if it has the name Warhammer in it, like I assume I'm not going to like it, for example. But there's some stuff that looks good too. I just like I'm
I
not like in a rush to get any of it. I'm very patient.
so I have one of the I know I have two Warhammer games. One is like a Doom style, like a pixelated
That seems alright.
style shooter, and the other one is like plays more like Gears of War. Space Marines 2 to me plays like
That sounds fine too. Maybe I should have said Warhammer. The ones I don't like are the ones where it's like there's like 5,000 characters. Like you zoom out and it's like a big battlefield or something. Like I have zero interest in that.
strategy game.
And not just strategy. It's like strategy where it's like at a mass scale, where it's like a whole freaking huge army that you're trying to control at the same time. Yeah, it's like a war game, really. I don't really
You're so you're like more advanced than like classic Warcraft and stuff like that.
Yeah, more advanced than that. Because classic Warcraft, you're still dealing with like 20 units at a time or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In some of these games, it's like a battlefield with like 1,000 people on it, and so you got to figure out how to control.
Did you ever play back in the day, or you probably have a copy of it? Did you ever play Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds? It was made by the creators of it was a joint collab between LucasArts and the creators of the Age of Empires games.
I never did.
It's so fucking good. There is multiple races. Races. There is multiple factions. You could play as rebels, Imperials. But it covered all the movies, the originals and the new ones. I mean, new ones, episodes 1, 2, and 3, because that's what they were at when those games came out. But I do have it and the expansion, and that's what I'm saying. That's another reason.
Racists.
Multiple racists. Yeah.
Racist. That's funny.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I wanted to like, that's part of the reason why I want to get my capture card working, because right now I'm unable to stream on my PC, and I'm hoping that with the capture card I'll be able to actually stream my classic PC games more. And David Holm is still around, by the way, and he is still messaging me about the stream.
Yeah, no, we have to do that at some point. But I have to. I think we got to wrap this up because it's already 8:30. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I actually want to stream tonight myself as well. But I have to get that ready at some point soon too.
All right. Well, we'll finish. We'll finish the. I want to finish this painting first because I'm almost done, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah. To stream from PC.
Stream.
Yeah. So my PC currently, Pirate Gamer Boy. I used to stream PC games. Stu was so back in the day when I streamed. Stu was my number one viewer. Like, I mean, it was mostly just him in the live chat when I used to stream on PC. And I'll never forget, I streamed this FMV COVID-19 game. Do you remember that one, Stu? It was like an indie FMV game, and it was all about COVID-19, about finding the cure for COVID-19. And I made a wisecrack joke in it, and I had Stu howling. It was like the people in the FMV game were like talking about, we need to find the cure for COVID-19. And the game took place in like Japan or something like that. And it's like that's your job. You have to find the cure for COVID-19. And I made a joke. I paused the game and I said, "Yeah, we'll find the cure for COVID-19. It's a bullet to the head." And Stu just started howling. He thought it was so fun. But
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would laugh at.
yeah. But no, I used to stream like crazy on my PC, but what ended up happening was now every time when I stream on my PC, there is nothing but static from either the game's audio or my mic. And I've never been able to fix it. Originally I thought, well, maybe it's my mic. I went through multiple mics trying to fix it. Nothing. It's not my mics. And then I looked it up online. Nobody else has had this issue. I asked Olaf. I've asked Stu. Nobody can figure out why I'm getting static whenever I stream. But it's I have one of those video cards where I think it's like Control Z, where I hit Control Z and then it streams. It's one of those NVIDIA. I think it's an NVIDIA graphics card. And so I hit Control Z to start a stream, and it would stream just fine. It would stream over to YouTube, but then I would like go over to look at the live stream, and like the game I'm streaming is nothing but static. And I'm like, well, what? I just don't understand. Like, I don't. And then I would go through the audio settings and everything. Everything was fine. And So I never understood it. And that's why I just stopped. I stopped streaming PC games. And it's ironic because like the biggest collection of games that I have is my PC games. I have so many PC games. And so a lot of my new subscribers don't realize that. They think, "Oh, this guy only streams on console." Well, the only reason I stream on console is because my fucking PC isn't streaming properly. Otherwise, I'd be streaming PC games. I'd be streaming my classic games. I go into like In the First Degree, Phantasmagoria 1 and 2, all those games because I have them all. I have practically Sierra's
I'll
entire.
build you a new PC.
You'll build me a new PC? Are you gonna send it to me too in Canada? I don't know how that's gonna work. That's gonna cost you an arm and a leg, I think.
Somebody's gonna build me a PC also. So.
Oh, did he?
He did. Listen, I really have to go. My son is actually calling me to talk to me about something as well.
All right.
We can wrap this up.
Yes, I can wrap it up. I can talk for a few more minutes. All right. Well, Stu, what are you streaming tonight on your channel?
It depends if you let me go now or not.
Well, no, I want you to advertise.
I would like to stream. Wanted Monty Mole for the Commodore 64. It looks really interesting game.
Didn't you already stream that?
I streamed it for the Spectrum, which is a completely different game with the same name. They're made by two different people, and the games are completely different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's actually really, the music is really good, but the game itself.
C64 time.
So I want to see if I can get anywhere with it, but I'll try it out at least. It's working, so that's good news.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll check that out, and we'll see how it is.
All right, so if you guys aren't already subscribed to Stu's Game Reviews, check it out. It's STU, Stu's Game Reviews on YouTube. Check him out. He streams a lot of classic games from your youth, probably a lot of games that you guys grew up with, and if not, games that you should have grown up with, and you should check them out.
And make sure you're subscribed to this channel also if you haven't done that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're watching, you're probably already subscribed. At least I hope you are. And if you're not, well, you should subscribe. Tomorrow we're going to be going into Starfield on the PS5. Stu will be there for that, and we will also be going into next month the brand new James Bond game. There hasn't been a James Bond game since the PS3, so it's a big deal that James Bond is coming back in video games. And the new James Bond game is going to be like open world, and it's made by the creators of the Hitman franchise. So IO Interactive is behind the brand new James Bond game coming out, and it looks absolutely amazing based on the screenshots and gameplay I have seen.
Awesome.
Looks really good. Yep. And there's a lot of driving in it too. Like you get like all these classic Aston Martins and like these modern cars and everything. You can drive them around beautiful locations. Oh, it just looks really good. The thing that I really I admired about the gameplay is that it keeps the humor of the Bond movies and stuff like that. So there's a lot of Bond is a real sarcastic kind of a dick in the game, which I appreciate because that's kind of what Bond really was in most iterations. But he's really young. He's really young. So the game takes place before he becomes a 00 agent. So it's basically multiple cases, and he's building his way up to becoming a 00 agent. So it's when he first joins MI6. So he's in his early 30s in this upcoming Bond game. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we will be back tomorrow with Starfield on the PS5. As I said, Stu will be joining me for that. I'll see if I can get him on the mic for that, and if not, he'll be in the live chat for sure. But if we can get him on the mic, that would be amazing, and then we can get his feedback. I'll even have him make a character. So we'll make a character based on his specifications and put him into that world, and we'll do that. That'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys had a fantastic Easter. And we'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto and soon at the Paintcast. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much to Pirate Gamer Boy for tuning in tonight, and to James as well. And everybody watching after the fact. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the Gamers Grotto. A lot of games coming out that I'll be streaming for you guys over the next couple of weeks. And again, Stu's Game Reviews, if you're not already subscribed to him, subscribe to him as well. And we'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Have a fantastic night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.